Boom. Welcome back to the Struggle Bus, everybody.
Oh, just kidding.
I do.
Welcome back, everybody.
I knew what you were doing.
That's okay.
Okay, so that does bring me to my dumb question to start off.
That's why I did it.
All right, so we just spent like 5-10 minutes before recording fucking with audio because I'm paranoid about audio right now. I'm an abuse victim.
And why are you paranoid, Wendy?
Because all the times I've had audio issues with OBS.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I lost a whole like 3-4 hour playing session.
That was going to be my next question. How many videos did we lose, Wendy?
We lost a whole podcast.
We lost an entire podcast worth of content to do. We lost an entire season. An entire season gone.
No, not even that. We haven't done that series since.
We lost part of summer too. I just remember we lost the last quarter of summer and all of fall.
Okay, yes, we lost that, and we lost the Struggle Bus onboard entertainment. We have not done an episode since.
Oh shit! Really?
The Advent Children thing we did. Remember?
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah,
that was great. That was so much fun too.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna close my door really quick because people are now home. Ooh. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. That was one of our better ones.
Yeah, nobody would know.
So since we
Oh, I still have a stupid question.
That's okay. We're gonna get to that, but really quick, I'm gonna do something stupid myself, where, I want to honor our lost content. Hey Siri, lights out. I want to have a moment.
Hey Google, dim the lights. Okay, Google, dim the living room.
We're waiting. Come on, technology.
Okay, dimming the desk lamp.
Okay.
All right. We're going to have a moment of silence for the lost content for Sam and Henry, which, if you're actually watching this, you don't know what the fuck happened.
I didn't even realize that was in the casualty. I thought it was only Hall.
Dude, you don't know how excited I was for that specific section. And it's just poof.
So, like, it did get uploaded.
It's uploaded, but it's just you staring and words are coming out.
You can watch my facial expression.
You don't have facial expressions. You're not you're an analytical person. So you do a lot of explaining. A lot of explaining. Yeah. You don't have dramatic, reactions and stuff like that, unless you get scared and then your eyes widen, but that's about it really. I like how we're having a moment of silence and we haven't shut the fuck up. So, moment of silence for everything.
Okay, Google, turn the living room to full.
Hey Siri, bright mode.
Got it. Setting the desk lamp brightness to 1.
All right, so my dumb question.
Yes.
Me and OBS are like the most legendary anime rivalry. What is your rival?
What is my rival?
Yeah, so like me and OBS, your analog to that.
My rival is when Wendy doesn't like things the same degree that I like them.
Okay, hold up. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Your rival is when Wendy doesn't watch or play things you told Wendy to watch or play.
Yeah, but that's
your rival is Wendy.
You know what? You would be right. That would be my arch rival, but but I'm so used to it at this point. It's like a Goku Vegeta relationship now, where you're like, yeah, we kind of talk shit, but at this point, we're both used to each other. We're used to our bullshit, so it is what it is.
I played The
Yeah.
Last of Us
You did.
10
you
years
did.
after.
10 years later.
I had a PS4 6 years ago.
And you started it. You just didn't continue it.
But now we have this.
You know what? It's worth the wait, honestly, because it really is, because this is such a fun form
Yeah.
to conversate about it, and it was such like we're already past a year of your YouTube channel, right?
Oh yeah.
Damn, we should have did a. Too bad. We should have did a.
I was in the middle of moving.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah,
We couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. This could be an anniversary of that. It's just this was such a good idea. This was brought on because I was like blowing your ass up about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that used to be your favorite game when you were a kid, and I just wanted to talk to you about it, and I wanted you to play it, and then it became on PC, and you just had the idea of doing this, and now we've kind of...
And luckily, I forgot all the spoilers I told you to tell me.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God, because... And I don't think I did a very half-assed job of kind of explaining it.
That sounds
like you remembered. Yeah, exactly. Fuck you. And so like we have this now that you're enjoying some of the games you're enjoying two of my favorite games of all time. I want to do, because after I finish Red Dead, I'm going to do Undertale. I want to do a podcast on that. That is tied for your favorite game of all time. It's only right that we do a podcast.
I want to see your gameplay.
I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, there's a screen share. There's a built-in thing that I can probably figure out how to do that, I think.
Yeah, sounds good.
So,
you might not have video, but...
That's okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
All right, so getting to the subject of the podcast, but I'm going to stay on topic a little bit.
Yeah.
Did I get you?
With what?
My little joke in the first episode, my little editing joke.
Oh, the yellow?
Yeah, the snarky yellow text.
The snarky yellow text. I was actually really happy to see it make a comeback.
Okay, but did I actually trick you?
Oh, did you actually trick me? No.
Oh.
I was like, what is he talking about? Everything was working. I'm sorry, everything is working for them.
Okay, so there was menu sounds that I did actually edit out.
Oh, you know what? I noticed it wasn't there because I'm very familiar with the game. So I noticed there wasn't no brooding sad guitar. But by the time it like kind of clicked what you were doing, it was back, like you had it back. So I was like, okay, well, either he fixed it or I wasn't paying attention, but everything worked out.
Okay. Damn. Yeah. I even like laid it out for you as, hey, Windy, the game audio. Windy.
Nice try, snarky Windy.
Yes. Snarky editing, Windy.
Until next time, snarky Windy.
Okay, so let's start with summer. Welcome to Sam's Club. Oh God!
I gotta say, since we're on titles, I really liked your last couple. I really liked Bloated Episode because it took me a second. I love that one, and I don't know if you thought about. I don't think you actually thought about it. I think you think of it on the fly. I really like Last of Game. I don't know. It's just
no. That was deliberate.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, that was a deliberate tie-in with Last of Us.
Yeah. Well, no, I know that, but that's why I liked it, and I was wondering because I know sometimes you're like, okay, this is this, this is that. Yeah. So I was wondering if that one you actually had, you thought of that, like, oh, my last episode will be called this.
Oh no, I come up with them on the fly, like literally. That's what I meant, export to render. What should I name this one?
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I meant.
I was actually more a fan of I Saw the Light. Because in the darkness, seek the light.
Yeah, because of the fireflies. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that one too. Those are just those were the two that I remembered that stood out to me. But your last like 4 or 5 were excellent.
I think one of my favorite titles altogether in my whole channel is The Disrespect.
Yeah, that one was good.
But yeah, so I was about to talk about Sam's death.
Welcome to Sam's Club. Yeah,
but like, really is a tragedy the way that everything happened. Because now I'm thinking about that not as it happened, but in retrospect, and I'm thinking like in
now
relation.
That you know the story now.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if you ever plan on watching the
HBO
TV series. Yes, the HBO series. They change up a few things throughout the series. A lot of it is very much the same, but they change up quite a bit in certain aspects. I don't know if you want me to tell you. Like the outcome with Sam is the same. There's an added touch to it that I really like that I wish was in the game. I don't know if you want me to tell you it or not.
I want to experience it.
Okay, so then I'll save it for you. So we'll talk about it whenever that happens.
Yeah.
10 years.
I have a PS4.
You do.
I am so okay, since we're on the tragedy of all those lost episodes, I am so disappointed that Tactics and Strategy did not have audio.
You were really hyping that one up.
Yeah.
You really hyped that one up, and it's, we mourned it.
Yeah. So that one was all the stalkers in the sewer?
That would have been really fun. I love that whole section from the sewers, or I'm sorry, the beach to the sewers, to the houses, to the sniper fight, to you shooting out the snipers, to Sam and Henry's demise. Like that whole sequence is excellent. And it's really I was really bummed out. Like I think we both you took a month long, but I think I needed it as well. I was really hurt by that.
Yeah.
I was really like, I've made no secrets about this being my favorite. This is my favorite IP of all time. Not just video game. It's probably, I have a metal $100 fucking poster of The Last of Us.
Literally, we are on Discord right now, and that is beautiful. We are on Discord right now, and your icon is the Firefly logo.
I love The Last of Us. I like Last of Us I'm going to get a Last of Us tattoo. Last of Us to me is your Alchemist,
That's a great way to put it.
It really is. Yeah, totally. So I were that part, and God, I'll never forget. I played Last of Us late. I still played it the year it came out, 2013. Nice. Look at them beautiful legs.
Surprised it didn't blind you.
No. Well, I'm white too.
Cuban.
Yeah, I am Cuban, but my
Focus,
Spanish side is very white. Yeah, I played the game late in 2013. Game came out in May of 2013. I didn't play it till December. And I played it at my aunt's house while I was recovering from having my tonsils removed. So I was in a lot of pain as it is, but that game really got me through that time. That was like the first game that I savored. That was the second game. The first game I savored was Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember I waited so long for that game. So I was like, it's a long game. I beat it in like 2 weeks. Same thing with Last of Us.
When you say savored, what do you mean?
I mean I loved playing it so much that I played it in bits because I didn't want it to end. I was savoring it. I was like, I'm gonna have this course right here. I'm gonna have this. Oh my God, I love this. I'm gonna stop myself because I don't want this to end. Because if I keep going, I'm getting closer to the end of the game, and that makes me sad. Then I feel that empty video game emptiness that you sometimes feel when
Yeah,
you've
the
played
the video
something
game
really.
hangover.
Yeah, exactly. When you've played something really special. That was Last of Us. And I remember I already knew about Tess's death through like YouTube videos, like spoilers and stuff like that. But Sam and Henry, I had no idea about, and was a real gut punch. And that one really made me put down the game for like a day. but
Okay, but
a
a day
day,
is like a decade in your time. How long did it take you to beat Final Fantasy 16?
um, that took 2.5 weeks, but I put 100 hours into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's like a decade to you, a day.
yeah. Well, not only that, yeah, it really is because when it comes to something I love, like when it comes to video games that grab me, I become very not addictive, that's not the word. Obsessed. I become very
Hyper-focused.
obsessed. Hyper focused, obsessed,
Yeah.
yeah. I become very enthralled by it. It's all I want to do. Fuck the world, I want to do this.
I knew
Um well, excuse me. And so a day, especially when you're recovering and you're just sitting on the couch and you have literally nothing else to do, a day is a long time.
that. That sounds topical
I know, right?
and relevant.
Right? Right? Um
um, yeah, I mean, what you're describing with savoring. So I've never had that. I don't want to play this more. I want to savor it. But that sounds like me with Undertale.
cool.
Yeah. Similar, I should say. Um,
Similar.
yeah, there
I
was
would hope so. It's your
Under
favorite game.
Undertale has there's multiple endings. After I got
Yeah.
a specific ending, I I I was done. The game was complete to me, and
Yeah.
going back to it would eliminate
Tarnish
that.
that.
Yeah,
Tarnish that. Yeah. I'm right there.
yeah,
I totally get that.
yeah. Okay, so anyways, looking back at it, at least we didn't have audio issues for our joint episode.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And the podcast too. At least the podcast came out well.
yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, that one was hopefully the next podcast we do, we can do it in person. But,
Yeah, agreed.
scheduling didn't work
Yeah,
this time.
yeah.
Yeah.
uh, um, yeah. I
Well,
think I was.
how'd you feel about the whole salmon head? How'd you feel about that whole section actually? Um,
Like all of
we
Pittsburgh or the sewers?
no, we saw everything from sewers to the demise of Sam and Henry because that's what we missed. That's the first chunk that we missed.
Um,
I know that was a month ago. It's hard to
yeah.
like dig back into how you felt. So
I remember being disappointed that I got to the sniper because I wanted to ransack everything. I wanted to kill the sniper and then loot.
yeah,
Um, Sam, like, this is clumsy phrasing, but Sam got me in that, like, it's not what I was expecting would happen.
yeah,
So like, I was kind of expecting there to be a twist, but I really wasn't thinking that Sam would be bitten
yeah.
or that Sam would get infected.
And you see it happen. You see it
Yeah,
happen, and but like because you're in game, you're in the middle of game mode. You don't expect it.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Um,
yeah.
Henry's death, I think, is what got to me more.
That one is the one that hit me too because he just the realization of the only reason I'm going on in this world is gone and I am completely broken and I am
Mm-hmm.
done and I don't want to be here anymore. All within seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like all within seconds. It's shocking, but I'm not saying I'm not advocating for suicide, but in I'm saying that more as I understood what he was thinking
Hmm.
just in that short time frame. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, really,
And
really hit me hard.
and then like I'm not going to try to avoid the retrospective opinion because that's just what I have. But like seeing that now at the end of the game as a contrast against Joel, if something
Mhm.
had happened to Ellie, I could see
Yeah.
Joel following the same mental tracks, not necessarily the same actions.
Not necessarily. I don't. Yeah, I think he's a fighter, so I don't think that it would be the exact same outcome.
Hmm.
But I do think that would be the I think that would sniff out any remaining little light that Joel has
Yeah.
because
Tess.
uh yeah.
He would have Tommy.
But at that point you lose your second daughter.
Yeah.
He was,
Yeah.
what's the point? It's like I let myself feel again. I let myself because he
Yeah.
pushed Tommy away. He lost Sarah and he pushed her away and he pushed Tommy away to the
Yeah, that's
point
a
that
good point.
Tommy went across the left fucking went across the country, left his ass.
That was
He's like
in
I can't be
Columbus, Ohio. Is that right?
Jackson. Jackson
Missis-
no, Missouri? Jackson. I should know this. Jackson, Colorado. Oh, I am a fake fan.
That would make sense though, Jackson, Colorado, because
I think I
we
want to
went to
say it is.
Denver.
Yes. I want to say it's Midwest Jackson State. Can't spell. Yes. Okay. We're good. We're good.
Not a fake fan.
Not a fake fan. Woo! That was my
Um,
first curveball.
oh God, we missed all of that too. And we
We
missed
missed all of fall.
we missed me getting the El Diablo as well.
I don't even know what that means.
The handgun with the scope.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We missed,
It's
Last of Us has some very iconic moments that are pretty famous. The opening with Sarah. Um I would say for me personally, Sam and Henry, I don't know so much about that, but for sure it's the opening with Sarah, the upside down shooting with Bill, at Bill's, uh, the infamous scene in Fall where he chases Ellie to the house and they
I
have
Ain't
that
Your
argument.
Daddy.
Yeah, he's like, "You're right. You're not my daughter, and I sure as hell ain't your dad." That that scene is is famous. It's one of the most quotable video game lines in
Yeah.
um that all of winter well, specifically playing as Ellie because
Yeah.
the developers were very cheeky. They lied. They said you would they Neil Druckmann, the director and writer, basically lied about two things. He said you would not see present time, which was the intro with Sarah, and he said you would only play as Joel.
Well, I didn't see present time. It's 2023, the
This is
friend.
true. This is true. Um and the obvious, and then the finale, the final scene
But we
with
never
the final
played as
scene with,
Sarah.
huh?
But we never played as Sarah.
We did play as Sarah.
Oh yeah, in the opening. You're right.
Yeah, in the opening, you play as Sarah. You start the game as Sarah.
Yeah.
You start the game as Sarah, his first daughter, and you end the game as Ellie.
You know what? I wonder if in the background, the stuff we don't see, if
Mhm.
playing as Sarah is everything that's used for playing as Ellie.
In what way?
Modeling,
talking-
rigging,
model?
control.
Well, no, they had their own actresses, specific actress that they modeled after.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, it was different people. It was a different everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I got what you were saying. I got what you were saying though. If they use
like
that,
the technicals of it.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
I mean, maybe, but just Ellie moves so much more. Her whole move. Sarah, all you do is walk. You don't run. You don't
Yeah.
do anything. You just walk around. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they took Ellie's modeling
Yeah.
and they applied it to
Yeah.
Sarah. Maybe they
Yeah.
could have
I
done
mean,
something like that.
that.
Yeah, something like that. I could totally see that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just technical tricks of the trade. Um. But yeah. Okay. So. Oh God! And one thing that we missed too in all those missed episodes, the lost
Mhm.
episodes, I'll call them.
Lost it.
The
Love it.
contrast from Spring, where Ellie gives Joel the picture of his daughter,
Yes.
and when Tommy tried to give that to him, we missed
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, he says I'm good. That is Joel's last attempt. That whole I love. I mean, I love this game. I love everything about this game. But fall is a really important aspect, and we we missed all of it. There a lot happens. We get the famous lines. Joel getting hurt. If anybody actually watched this besides me, they would have no idea. He's like, why is Joel hurt?
Well, I did explain it.
Right. You did. But it's like that's a huge moment. When you see that, we saw Tess die earlier. It's like, fuck, are they gonna kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel did have plot armor.
Yeah, a little bit. Totally. I mean, there's only so much realism you can honestly do in a video game. If you stand by everything needs to be realistic, then in my opinion the game starts being a little less fun. And so I'm able to subvert a little bit of expectations. Yeah, because we can scrutinize. If you really think about anything, you can scrutinize anything.
I mean, yeah. So I wasn't meaning that as like derogatory against the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no. I didn't take it as that. I've just
Okay.
it's a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of though, realism in the game.
Mhm.
In one of I think the last episode, I made the point of like they made a characterization that justifies the way players will play this game, basically.
Okay, elaborate.
Joel kills everyone. Players kill everyone they see, and it makes absolute sense for Joel to do so.
It makes absolute sense for Joel to do so. What I love so much about the ending is the morality that the player feels. Some people,
it's the trolley problem.
It's the what?
The trolley problem.
What is that?
It's from Moral Philosophy. So there's a speeding trolley going down a track. There's 5 people on the track. Right next to you, there's a switch, and if you pull the switch, it'll move the trolley to another track. But on that track is one person. What is the moral thing to do?
Yeah, do you sacrifice the few?
Do you actively? Well, no. Do you actively kill one person, or do you passively kill 5?
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good viewpoint of it. I was talking more about because obviously the way I see it, me personally, is I'm operating as Joel, but I'm not Joel. Like Joel is very much making his own choices, and that was one thing that Neil Druckmann said at the end, that he's like, I didn't want to give any choice, because this isn't that type of video game where the player gets a choice.
Respect.
This is Joel. Yeah, this is Joel and Ellie's story, and this is the choice that Joel is making. You are just operating Joel to commit what he's doing, but this is not your choice. This is Joel's choice, and so the ending being as what's the word? Not divisive or whatever. But it leaves people like, oof, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
First time I played it, the first time I played it, I was very much like you. I just operated as I was going. And it wasn't until I kind of like listened to a podcast and I heard other people saying like, man, I didn't, I felt shitty doing this, or man, I just mowed down the doctor. The doctor was an innocent dude or whatever, and they would, and there was nothing that could be done. Like, it's when I started thinking about it, it's like, oh my God, yeah. And then that's when I just really started thinking, it was like, man, Joel really did fuck everybody over. And it's like, that's what I love so much about the ending. It's like, what would you do to save the person you love? Or even can you don't, or like, do you think Joel was in the wrong? Do you think Joel was in the right? Do you think is Joel a monster? Or like the way I see it, the way I personally see it is Joel acted selfishly because he could not bring himself to lose another daughter, and he could not bear that pain again. And Joel was going to do whatever it takes selfishly to keep the person he loved. And if that meant doom the world, well then fuck the world.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm glad that you brought up the doctor, because like I did mow him down, but like
you did.
But with what you're talking about choice, I
Yeah.
feel like I did still make a choice, because I didn't come in there guns blazing, boom, there's a doctor, shoot the doctor. I came in there, doctor grabbed a gun. This is not the time.
Doctor did not grab a gun.
Oh, I thought he had a gun.
No, he brought a some medical thing, like get away, get out of here. It was not a gun.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was a gun.
Doctor wasn't armed.
Damn.
But you know what? Yeah, I know. Then you think, when you hear that, it's like, ah, shit. I feel a little dirty. But like, I did the same thing because you were we did it for different reasons, because you were operating as there's something in my way, get out of my way, and I operated was get the fuck away from my dog.
Yeah, like,
go ahead.
I don't think that changes it for me. I thought there was a gun, so I made the situation less risky. Yeah. And there's only two ways to do that. Either Joel dies or the doctor dies. And so, like, from what I'd seen and what I'd known, yeah, that. But, like, I did not kill the supporting staff.
You did not. I thought you were for a second there. I was concerned. Let me ask you this. Because it's fun. This is a fun. If you realized he didn't have a gun, would that have given you pause?
If he didn't have a gun, I wouldn't even considered him. I would have just gone straight to Ellie, get out of here.
Gotcha.
I might have like meleeed him if he stayed in my way.
He stays in your way. You have to kill him.
Okay.
That's a choice that that's a choice that Neil Druckmann wanted to make. That it's like, all these guys you've killed up until now have been trying to kill you. Mm-hmm. This guy is standing in your way. He's as innocent as you can get in this game. Mm-hmm. But he's still in your way, and Joel will kill anybody who's in his way to get to the person that he loves.
Yeah.
I thought that was I think that was a very daring choice.
A part of me was wondering too, because like talking about this choice, and we don't get internal dialogue like you would in Heavy Rain, even though David Cage is a hack. Hate David Cage. But like,
yeah, we loved that game when we were younger though, but yeah, I understand.
Yeah, we also like Dark Knight Rises. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I had an argument with a friend about Dark Knight Rises, and he's like, "You only don't like it because it's fun not to like it." And it's like, no, I don't like it because I've had a lot of time to think about it, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense, and it's an unworthy sequel to an otherwise incredible
even compared to Batman Begins.
That's what I mean. They're both, like, for me, Dark Knight is a 10. Batman Begins is a solid 9 or an amazing 9. Dark Knight Rises is like a 6 or a 6.5. Anyways, we're not
Yeah.
going down Nolan because that's a whole
I still
nother
haven't seen
thing.
Oppenheimer.
Dude, it's so good. I think this is his. We're doing it again, but you brought me here. What? Did I say your name?
No.
Oh, okay. What? Oh,
We're
well, it's
doing
you.
it.
Yeah. It's really good. I'll just say this:
Yeah.
it's really good. He might actually win Best Picture this time.
I'm
I'm
glad Nolan's back to form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I didn't like Tenet. Yeah, it makes sense.
So, like we don't have internal monologue. And so part of me is wondering, like in Joel's decision-making process, very clearly he's thinking he's making the choice to go save Ellie. But I'm also wondering if like his rampage through the hospital to go save Ellie is also a bit of acceptance of fate. If he dies, and he doesn't have to deal with that pain.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's an accepted of fate. I think it's calculated in the event of you don't have to necessarily kill everybody there, but you Joel pretty much takes everybody out. At the very least, he cuts the head off, specifically because I don't want any of you coming after her.
That was my mentality too. That's why I think I said I could just move on. I don't want these fucks behind me.
The only ones that actually come back to attack you, the hallway where 3 of them are kind of running out, and you kind of hide past them. They go that way, but those 3 will come back if you hang out in the other room for too long. If you don't do the stairs, right away, they'll come back. But everybody else doesn't come back. But that's still, it's your first time. How could you possibly know that? It's much safer to kill everybody. And
also, it's fun.
It is fun. The game is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The game as brutal and harsh and dark, and it's a lot of it. It's fun. It is entertaining. The gameplay is fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to play part 2 because the game it's very much the same, but they add just enough to for me it rivals like Metal Gear Solid 5 as far as like stealth
that's that's a great game.
Yeah, it is.
That's one of the games that I love. I'm not gonna say favorite, but I love that game.
Yeah.
But so you meant those dudes who run from the hallway, through the hallway. The group before them. I was really amused by my cheeky, like, okay, these guys got me. Before they run in, I'm gonna throw a bomb and take out all of them. You did. God, that was cheesy as fuck, but I don't care.
It's not though, because it's the end of the game. Yeah. What's the point of holding on to them at this point if you're not going to use it? It's like the when you play a Final Fantasy game and you're like, I'm going to save my elixirs for the final boss, and then you're getting to the final boss. It's like, well, I have all this shit because I haven't used it.
So by cheeky as fuck, I mean like I'm not supposed to know that they're coming.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Okay. So
or cheesy.
You played the game a little bit.
Yeah, metagaming is the term for it.
Yes. That's fine.
Oh god, some of my deaths though were just like absolutely funny to me in these last few play sessions, and like just how caught out I was in situations, because that's what would kill me. I'd get caught out or cocky.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say, you died less in these last chunk of games, but the times you did die, it was because you got overconfident.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because at this point you felt comfortable enough with it, and that's part of the game.
Yeah. Which kind of brings me to like, okay, I mentioned the episode title, The Disrespect, but like literally in game, me saying, this is me disrespecting you. Because I wasn't playing stealth. It was loud ass rifle. I see where you are.
It's running around and shoot these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a lot of fun with part 2. I'll just say that.
What about the DLC? What's it called? Last Ditch?
Left Behind.
Left Behind.
That one's only 2 hours. You can get through that quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, that won't take you long at all. But it's important. It's important. It's well, you'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess let's talk about Winter. So one, I did really like the joke. The friend texted me that that he's playing Red Dead Redemption. So am I.
Yeah, boy.
You're
Pretty
all
much.
right, girl.
You're all right. That's my boy. You're a good boy.
You, sir, are a fish.
Hey there, mister. All right now.
And that out of the way
Okay.
is when you mean to talk to someone but accidentally punch them.
I haven't done that yet. I've been very careful not to, but I
You mean in
have
this
shot
playthrough?
people in this playthrough. Oh, I did it a whole bunch of times the first time because Rockstar's controls are fucking stupid. In that game. So, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it again. I've been wanting to play it for like 2 years now, and it's just been sitting on my PS5. So it's like, you know what? Let's just fucking do it. It's fun though. I'm playing. I don't know why we're talking about Red Dead, but yeah, you mentioned in the video, was Winter your favorite section?
Okay. So what I said was mechanically, not
Okay.
for story, but just for actual gameplay. The Winter pre David, like the David reveal, Winter pre him was my favorite section just because of the mechanics of this is a gun game and they're intentionally putting you in misfit situations.
Yes.
And the way that they designed them. Because, like, I'm in this tiny ass room trying to shoot clickers with a rifle.
Yep. You did pretty well, though. You didn't die too much.
Yeah. And when I did die, one of them was literally, they cornered me. I could not do anything.
I was getting worried. You got halfway through before you realized that Ellie had a knife and she can just shiv people.
Mm-hmm.
The silent takedown. But you figured it out, thankfully, because that would have been a lot difficult.
That was silent?
Well, not silent, no,
Okay.
but you're able to take down.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off, is that she always has a shiv.
Yeah.
But it's loud because she's a 14-year-old girl who jumps on them.
Yeah, who just does not have the body weight to overpower them like Joel does.
Exactly. That's the trade-off you get. Yeah.
And it narratively makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Winter is personally my favorite section.
Yeah, for me it's the university.
University?
Yeah.
Oh, fall.
Yeah.
Great.
So, like, what it was for me, and it's gameplay and narrative. I'm sorry, I didn't do it on purpose.
I know it's not your fault. I'm not mad at you, but I'm just like, God damn it.
But it's and this is like in retrospect to me being able to say that it's my favorite because I have played the whole game now. But it's because like the whole lead up and the eeriness and why is it so empty and there should be people here. And then you get into the science building and you keep going up and there's no people and you keep going up and there's no people. And then
you finally hear something.
Yeah.
And then you finally hear something, you open the door and it's fucking monkeys.
Yeah. And then there's people.
And then the traumatic end of fall of
also that bloater.
Yes.
Which I did kill. You basically saw how I killed it though in spring.
Right.
Yeah.
Which worked for you.
Yeah.
Damn, that really sucks. Oh well, what can you do? We already said our moment of silence. Okay, cool. So you really liked Fall. Fall's up there for me too.
I mean, there's only 4 choices.
How dare you, sir? No, but yeah. For me, it's Winter. Just because I love the I was caught off guard initially the first time playing as Ellie. I thought that was really cool. I had no idea I'd be playing as Ellie. Um, the whole lead up, because this is back in 2013. So the whole lead up of, oh my God, is Joel dead? I have no idea. Um, Nowadays, a little wiser, so I'm a little more. It's harder to trick me or twist me or whatever. So like, um, so playing as Ellie and then the back and forth between Ellie and Joel, gameplay wise, was really interesting.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the story. It's the Ellie's in a very vulnerable position, and you just are worried for her. It tricks you initially with David. It makes you feel like, oh, okay, he's actually kind of good. Which, yes, it did. Yes, it tricked you a couple times. You said you don't get points for 3 minutes before he turns to say, "Oh, I think a twist is going to happen." You don't get points for that.
Okay, but before then, I made the point of like, it's making me trust David that he had a handgun and he didn't pull it, but I feel like that's setting me up, basically. Like that's me paraphrasing, but I did say
right.
that. So
you did say that, but you also said I like David. I think David's a good guy.
Oh, okay.
And the whole time I was watching too, and I was like, "Oh, you just wait! That little predator's coming for Ellie."
So I did still have all that. Like, I think it's making me trust him in the back of my head.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, I think I said this in gameplay, but the point I made of how his eyes went from looking tired to crazed without a single change to the model or the texturing.
Yes, right. Yeah, I know. I noticed that too. They did a really good job of like something twisted, and it's not the facial model. It's just you see a blackness now. There's something sinister now about him that it didn't, like before. He just felt soft and tired, like you said, but that quickly changed. Fun fact also, the voice actor of David is Nolan North. You might know him from Uncharted as Nathan Drake. That small role of Nathan Drake that you might
God,
know.
He's a lot more soft spoken than Nathan.
Yeah.
Quite a range.
Well, Nolan North was the guy during that time.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was also Desmond from Assassin's Creed 2 and Ezio.
I can see that. I didn't know Ezio was the same actor.
So yeah. Well, Ezio and Nathan Drake sound exactly alike. It's the same. It's pretty much the same voice.
Yeah.
He was also Deadpool in an old Xbox game around that time too. He's very versatile.
Yeah.
But that little fun fact. But David is such a frightening character because, and it's unnerving because, like you, the first time I'm like, I don't know if I should trust you, but like you seem like a good dude. You seem like, at this point I feel like the twist would have came already. Like at this point, if he was a dick, he would have left her for dead, or he would have shoved her into the clicker so he could have gotten away. So it's like this false sense of security that the game kind of gives you, and the time that you spend with him, that it really it lowers your guard. Maybe not all the way, because in this game you shouldn't. You should never have your guard all the way down, because bad things happen when you do lower your guard.
Yeah, but I don't have the choice. Sometimes the guard gets lowered and like, oh, I want to be careful going through this door, but no, cutscene.
And then sometimes you're overly paranoid where you're like, I don't trust this door, something's gonna happen. Okay, nothing happened. Yeah.
Or I crouch for half the game.
But I'm rambling on. I know.
That's
I do
this
that a lot
fucking
with this game.
podcast.
I know, but more so than usual. Um, I love Winter the most because of the ending of Winter, and that's the final culmination where Joel has completely let everything go, and he has fully embraced Ellie physically and and emotionally as I love you, I care about you, I can't lose you. And he finally drops the line, baby girl. That's when it's like
Yeah.
Joel is in full dad mode again.
Yeah.
Like and she embraces him, sees him also as his as a the surrogate father, if you will.
Not only
Um,
that, but narratively, like,
two people who need each other, two lone people in this world who need each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely that. But like, whether Joel chose to or not is irrelevant. Ellie independently took care of Ellie,
Yes.
and
Which I
like,
love. I love it didn't fool you, but the game, like you get to right you get there as Joel right to the building on fire. So it kind of makes you think it's like, okay, Joel's gonna save her at the end, but like you just said, Ellie defends herself. Ellie saves herself because Ellie has saved herself through learning through Joel
mm-hmm,
and through Joel's teaching. Ellie has grown, like you said,
mm-hmm,
in the podcast a few episodes earlier. Ellie has kind of grown up, and
mm-hmm.
she has learned to kind of take care of herself in this aspect that she had just enough to get through it before Joel kind of came to their rescue. I also love that scene because Ellie was so appalled and scared and hurt and angry.
Mm-hmm.
You could see her kind of losing her way. The way that she's just blind rage,
Mm-hmm.
cutting David to face to pieces.
I
Blind rage, and Joel kind of stopping her, kind of snapping her out of it in that moment. And it's kind of like Joel is her light.
mm-hmm.
And we talk about light a lot with Last of Us because fireflies look for the light. But in this instance, Joel was kind of her light. He brought her back. In that moment, he brought her back down from the hate
Mm-hmm.
that she felt.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna
And
say? I'm sorry.
a part of that too was like not just bringing her down from the hate, but bringing her down from that action. Like, Ellie has seen violence before. Ellie has not seen and definitely not committed violence like she did.
Yes,
And so like
that
it's
was
just pulling her back from the actual mechanical action.
yes, yeah, absolutely. It's like, don't go down that. Don't go down that road. Stay here with me. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Nothing's gonna hurt you. You're
Yeah.
safe now. You can go back down to where you were because I'm here and I'm here to take care of you. It's such a I'm not a father, so I can't resonate from that with that emotion,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a father, and my father has protected me. Um, as a stupid kid, there's things that he has saved me from, so I can resonate at least from Ellie's perspective.
Yeah. Um and then like I don't know if I really like it or if I'm just a little bit bummed about it that in spring it wasn't discussed. It was giraffes.
I like, I love the giraffe scene. I
Mm-hmm.
love the giraffe scene because it's what kind. It's a we. It's because who these characters are not, at least on Joel's part, is not the most conversationalist. He's not the right. He's not really the best at
Mm-hmm.
forming his emotion and being vulnerable. What Ellie kind of needs right now, but that giraffe scene. Oh my god, I can't. So I talked earlier about infamous scenes or famous scenes. The giraffe
Mm-hmm.
scene is also up there. That's
What is the
probably one of
like
them.
snapshot moment of fame for that? Is it the giraffe's head in the building or seeing all the giraffes in the cutscene?
It's the giraffe. It's probably the full seeing all the giraffes and stuff.
Okay.
That that scene is so important because it's Ellie's true happy moment that she really gets in this game.
Mhm.
Everything that kind of happens, there's little bits of happiness that happen throughout the game, but something always really shitty happens to kind of
Yeah, like she steals the toy for Sam, and then
and Sam
oops.
and Sam dies, or she kind of starts bonding with Tess. Tess gets killed. Um, there's always something. She talked even about her best friend Riley. She had a best friend that
Mm-hmm.
they both got infected, and they were like, well, you know what? We're going to become infected, but at least we'll become infected. Nope, that didn't happen either. So Ellie's had a very sad life up until this point. So this giraffe scene is kind of special just because there really was no tainting that. Nobody comes out and shoots the giraffes
Yeah.
or anything. So it's a nice moment for her to cherish, and it's a nice moment because me personally, I've listened to a lot of podcasts about this, but I also felt this way. So I'm not saying that like, oh, I heard this and I stole it from this, but my personal opinion was that Ellie kind of understood that she might not be coming back from this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why for me the draft scene is so important and so special. And the director even kind of touched on he lets the gamer decide when it's time to leave. You can sit there forever with
Mm-hmm.
Ellie and just it's kind of like you just kind of take it in and you breathe and you just kind of feel this moment with Ellie, and when you are ready to proceed, you can kind of you can move and proceed. That was at least the intention. Um so yeah, I love the giraffe scene, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
Very
So
very special.
um yes, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm clarifying my point.
Yeah.
For that Ellie development, what I'm saying would be the bum out part is like there wasn't a Joel Ellie relationship development, and like yeah, we already saw baby girl dad, but also the like sit down and hey, this was traumatizing. Let's start the resolution of trauma. It's a long road, but just like that conversation.
I think the reason for that is specifically what I mentioned, that Ellie is accepting her fate, understanding and accepting her fate, and it wasn't so much about Joel and Ellie's relationship in the moment that led up
Mm-hmm.
to the giraffe. That would have been cool. I would have had questions. I was like, this fucking game. We've been dealing with people and zombies that are not zombies, and then you just throw a mythical being at me.
No. What happens is like leading up to that and going through it, you like go through a dark room or something and it's all black, and then you walk out, it fades in, and it's the opening of Skyrim.
Okay. Hey there, traveler.
Hey, you're finally awake.
That would have been a twist.
I'm pretty sure that edit has probably been done. That is a meme.
Oh man, yeah. Everything. In fact, I saw it come back this year. I watched something and it did that. I was like, oh wow, we're going back to that. Let's go. It's been dead long enough that
Yeah.
I'm ready for it
It
back.
was hilarious when it was active.
Yeah, I think the aspect of it, the quietness of Ellie, I think that's needed because because you as Joel, you operating as Joel, you want to fix it. You can see that she's sad and she's upset, and you want her to be okay. And so I totally understand the idea of I wish they would talk. I wish he could communicate with her so that she could feel better. But I think it's done because Ellie is not just thinking about what happened with David and them, but she's kind of thinking about it all, and she does kind of talk about it after the draft, where she says, it can't be for nothing. It can't all be for nothing. So it's kind of conversation that you get, or it's not so much about specifically David, it's more about Ellie feels responsible, even though it's none of it is Ellie's fault. Ellie feels responsible, and so that is Ellie kind of feeling like, I need to do this no matter what, because a lot of people have died on my behalf, a lot of things have happened on my behalf, and I want to do this. This is my purpose. And so I think personally it's really well done on that. But I can understand your thought process too, of it's like, fuck Joel, say something.
Yeah.
I get that. I totally get that.
And then
because
and then,
as close as they are at this point, it's like, come on, dude, you've spent a year together at this point. You should know how to fucking talk to her at this point. So I get it.
Yeah. And then to get on track with you though, like from that point, Joel lied to her.
Yeah. So Joel lied to her and that's what we kind of get into the morality of, like, Joel didn't just doom the planet. Joel knew what he did was wrong, and that is why he lied to her, because he deep down knew that she wanted to save the world. And I think deep down he knew that if they would have that if she had the choice, she would have made the choice. Like, she loves Joel, but her purpose was the most important thing to her. And for right or wrong reasons, Joel robbed that of her. You know. Yeah.
On the flip side, though, Ellie's what, 14?
Yes.
I got it right this time.
You did. Well, I'd like to think at this point she's 15 because it's been a year.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
But, like, Ellie's 15, too. Can a 15-year-old make that decision?
Can a 15-year-old make that decision? I would say it's about the same ballpark as somebody making that decision for her. That is, there, as much as a father figure he is, he's not necessarily. They've both gotten to the point where they feel that way, but like you kind of said earlier, Ellie has grown up, and Ellie is smart enough to, I think, weigh her decisions, and I would also say she's not a typical 15-year-old either. So it's a good thought process of, like, well, you're just a kid, what do you know? But in this world, 15 for us and 15 in this world are very different things. And we kind of get the contrast too of what a typical child looks like with Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam and Ellie is a very different maturity level than Sam. So I guess to answer your question is, I don't really know, but.
And I mean, to one thing I'll say to you, like, sure, Joel isn't Ellie's dad, but no other adult is going to be parental like that for her. No other adult is going to look out for the child the way that a parent would look out for a child, the way that Joel is.
See, I got to push back a little bit on this, because I don't think Joel did this so much for Ellie. He did it for Ellie, yes, but on a surface level, he did this for himself, because Joel can't go through this world again without his with losing another daughter. He just can't. So, as much as it's to save Ellie, it's also it's more so to save himself. He needs her. He needs her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He needs her, and he can't go through it again. He can't go through the pain. That's why it's so interesting, because it's like it's more than that. It's not just saving a little girl, it's saving himself from the loneliness and emptiness that this girl has filled within him.
Yeah.
These are flawed characters, and that's what I absolutely love about them. There's a lot of depth there.
Joel's not the hero. He's
Joel
not
is
a
not the
hero.
hero. He's a hero, but he's not the
No,
hero.
he's not a
He's
hero. In this world,
Joel's kind of a monster,
yeah.
but he's a monster you can sympathize, and that's why I
Mhm.
love that's why I
Mhm.
love him so much, and that's why I love this story
Yeah.
because it's like fuck. There's layers here. It's not. It's like yeah, you can look at it on a surface level, but it's like fuck. When you really start talking about it, it's like it gets. You really start it's like, oh shit, that's true. Oh man, oh that's a good point. What about it's fun. I love this game so much. Oh, I love this
I
game.
had no
It's upside
idea.
down. It's upside down. Oh, I can't wait for you to play part 2, dude.
Hold on. I'm taking a note.
Okay.
So okay, all this though, like one comment I made during gameplay, like near the very end, I said, "Is this game called The Last of Us because Joel is dooming the rest of us?"
It's a very good theory. And that's something I haven't really thought of. I haven't really thought of that. I always assumed it was called The Last of Us because it's the last of the people on,
Mhm.
it's the remaining Last of Us. It's the
Yeah.
remaining people on this, but you make a very compelling point that it's like, oh, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
after doing this, after killing, the doctor and pretty much killing all of the Fireflies, yeah, there's nobody working on a cure anymore. That's it. So the people that are left here, that's it.
mhm.
So yeah, it's a really good point. I like that a lot, and I wish that I thought of that.
Yeah. It hasn't come up in your podcast either, apparently.
No, it has not. It has not. Or if it has, I've forgotten about it. But
Yeah.
I don't think I would have. I
I
don't
think
think
that would have
I would
stuck
have
with you.
forgotten. I think it would have. I truly think it would have. Um,
Um,
so Neil Druckmann has always talked about, this game is about love,
mhm.
at its core. So I mean, you can pretty much see, it's not a what?
But when I like it for my favorite movie, it's stupid.
You talking about Interstellar?
Yeah.
I don't think I've used the word stupid. I just think what I've said is that a movie that has been so critical in like we're hitting this beats of science and realism, and then to kind of flip it. And I'll give you this, Wendy. I recently watched it a few weeks ago, and I was much less. I was much more softer on the ending
Mhm.
than when I watched it years ago.
Yeah. We need to have a
Um,
full blown discussion about this sometime.
I love Interstellar. Last thing I'm going to say it is very firmly right behind Dark Knight for me as my favorite Nolan films. It had shot up. It made me cry the last time I watched it. I don't know if I'm just getting older and softer.
I cry pretty easily with like the right kind of movie, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
always
yeah.
have. But
Right on.
anyways, the game is about love.
Yes. I
The
wasn't making a point.
the real infected was the family members we made along the way.
Though the reason I was saying that is because part 2 is kind of a contrast of that. That Neil Druckmann has said part 1 is about love and part 2 is about hate. And that's why they're one full story, because they balance each other in that way. I don't remember where I was going with this. I feel like my mic's too. But just, it's not even just about Joel and Ellie and the love between them.
Mhm.
You have characters that you experience, Sam and Henry, the love between them that dies.
Joel and
Um,
Tess.
Joel and Tess, yes, Joel and Tess. Um, yeah. Um, so I don't want to touch on too much because I almost slipped on something, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. There is one question I'd like to ask about Last of Us Part 2.
Please.
If it doesn't spoil anything from Left Behind.
Gotcha.
What was the far-right reactionary hatred leading up to Last of Us Part 2 before it was even released?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Because of
even telling you why spoils major plot points of the game. Even telling you that.
Two?
Of Part 2, yes.
Okay.
Of
I didn't
Part
think
2.
it would. Okay.
And Left Behind. And Left Behind, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
I can tell you one aspect that is not really spoilery of one huge reason. There's a trans character in Part 2.
You see, that's kind of what I was thinking.
That's literally it.
Yeah, there was queer stuff, and
yeah, that was literally one of the big reasons.
You're either heteronormative or you're political.
Yeah, so stupid, so fucking stupid.
Okay, but anyways, back to the moral choice.
Yes.
We were texting about it, and I was saying this is a podcast discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to at least set myself up. I think you're about to like deflate those gloves, delete those sock and boppers.
Man, oh god, what a callback! Sock and boppers, more fun than
a pillow fight.
Pillow fight.
Okay.
90s kid, baby. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, I want to say that I understand that narratively, they wanted to set up a Ellie dies or the world dies type thing, or Joel has to stop Ellie from dying with a huge moral consequence, and they wanted to have that. I get that. Based off everything you told me, I don't believe the narrative actually justified it. So like pulling up, you sent me a screenshot from an article.
Yeah.
The Firefly doctors believe that the cordyceps fungus insider has been growing since birth. As Joel points out after Marlene's explanation, cordyceps grow inside the brain. Removing a sample of Ellie's cordyceps in order to manufacture a cure would mean dissecting her brain, which of course would end Ellie's life. The infection is completely intertwined with her brain, and the process of reaching and extracting a sample size large enough to manufacture the cure is impossible.
Sorry, can I pause you? I meant to send you another article, but I didn't want to bash you over the head with the articles and make you think that like I'm being like what I was trying to get at more, and you can still tell me because maybe this does change, maybe it doesn't, but like it's not specifically a piece of it's a big enough piece that the fungi has intertwined so much with the brain that in order to dissect a large enough piece to be able to sample and produce the cells and re-engineer and test and all that, that it would destroy her brain in the process, or essentially it would kill her. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, the game doesn't justify that. Like
in
the
what
game
way?
doesn't point that out, doesn't make that apparent, doesn't provide that as an option. The game says we need the cordyceps from Ellie, and in another piece of found, it's either a tape or a note, another thing, it reveals that they are able to develop cordyceps samples from Ellie's blood.
Mm-hmm. Say that again?
They are able to develop cordyceps samples from Ellie's blood.
But they're not just trying to develop samples. They're trying to extract cells. So it's not Ellie that's we're really getting into like the nitty-gritty of
the lore, yeah.
Of the lore. It's not Ellie that's specifically immune. Her fungus has mutated special. It's a special form that has mutated weirdly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So my point is, The game explains something else. Explains not that. What the game explains is the fungus from Ellie, not the specific fungal mutation in Ellie. Because to me, I hear mutation and I think that the genetics of how this fungi is, which means replicate that genetic branch. And so I'm not saying that like what your explanations have are wrong. I am saying the game is deficient in explaining that.
Okay, I will give you that. I won't say it's deficient. I will say, but I'll give you that. All I can say without spoiling is that more information is given later.
Okay. But
More information is given.
This is me talking.
But I understand. But I understand.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and that's why I'm giving you that.
Yeah.
Because they do say in the beginning of the game that blood does not work. That Joel specifically, when he's talking to Marlene, he says that they have tried. You guys have tried that before with blood and it doesn't work, and it's like and they specifically talk about how Ellie's case is special in that way.
And at the science building, they go into why other primates aren't suitable.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that I said that before you tried to be like, I was educating you, indeed.
Actually, so they do. Let's find common ground. They do explain it, not to the degree that you you expected it.
They explain it with ambiguity.
Exactly. They explain it enough, and I think that's. I'm not trying to say like, well, actually, it's because they did this and they're just geniuses. They're such naughty dogs. I do think there is a little ambiguity in the end because I think there's a purpose for that, and I think the purpose is that the ending of the game is abrupt. We can agree on that, right? It's fast. It's like this happens, boom, boom, boom. You wake up in the hospital, you find this out, you kill everybody, you save Ellie, you lie to Ellie, game ends. Like everything happens really fast. And I think that's purposely done. And this could just be my reading into it. I think, again, what's so interesting about the ending is the morality on it. We talked about how Joel's kind of a monster that we like, but a monster, and his decisions were selfish. But we also need to talk about the Fireflies did this the wrong way too. They kind of rushed through this whole process and my interpretation of that is they were afraid if she wakes up, they tell her that she needs to die. Ellie might say no, even though we as the viewers, the gamers, we know she's not going to say no because we spent all this time with her and we know how she feels, but they don't. So I think
that would be the Wendy ending for her to volunteer for it, and for Joel to wake up after she died. That would be the Wendy written ending.
That would be really dark.
You know I like the bad ending though.
Okay.
Like no, this is me harkening back like the last 16 years of our friendship.
Well, story's not over. So, yeah. But yeah, you do like dark shit, dark endings for sure.
Up in the Air is one of my favorite movies for that reason.
That's a really good movie. That was one that
a lot of people complain about how abrupt that ending is though, and I love it.
It makes sense. Sense. Yeah. His whole life is abrupt.
Yeah. But so like to what you're saying though, honestly, abrupt as phrasing just feels too critical of the game, I feel. I'm going to call it anti-Return of the King.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a very good point.
Although still good, still fantastic, because anti-Return of the King implies that it's bad, and no.
All right, Bar, what is your favorite Lord of the Rings film?
Two Towers.
Two Towers. Okay, fair enough. It's return for me.
Pan down. Or no. Pitch down. That's the camera term.
Is that better?
Yeah.
The camera or the mic?
No, the camera. It was you weren't
Oh,
framed.
okay.
We were getting.
Yeah, I've been sitting on my leg. I've been sitting on my leg this whole time, and it was starting to hurt. So now I'm stretching
gotcha.
out, and I shrink a little bit. So yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I was like, oh, hello, hobbitses.
Honestly, okay, this is totally unrelated, but like my goblin self, anytime a bad thing happens, my goblin self, if I'm texting, goes, "We hates them." Do you want to take a quick break, like 5-10 minutes?
Sure.
Cool.
You got
no. Finish the point.
Oh yeah. So I think there's a little bit. I think that's done purposely. That the ending feels kind of rushed because the Fireflies need her. They want to get this done quick, and they are kind of rushing through the process too. So there could be a little bit of, I'm very much in the space that what Joel did was wrong. He did it for the right reasons, but it's wrong. But what he did was wrong. But there's an argument to be made, and because to be fair, that what the Fireflies, the way the Fireflies went about it wasn't the best way to go about it either.
So I think I'm struggling because, like, straight up, I don't like looking at things right or wrong.
Yeah. It's with such layered characters as this, and such a wibbly wobbly type of situation this is.
Morality.
Morality and everything. When you look at all that, it's not like you're bad, you're good, because you can't with this game.
Yeah,
you just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that I see it and why I'm struggling with it is, like, I'm gonna pull on my IT background, actually. Let's say you're working on something important, right? And so, like, it's important to have that saved, right? One is none in my head. If it was Ellie and only Ellie, then, like, part of it too is, okay, if we really think about it and think about this lore, like, it's presented as Ellie is the golden ticket, and all we have to do is cash that ticket. But what happens when we cash that ticket? Is the surgery successful, or did a 15-year-old girl die in vain? And so, like, that's not really known. And, like, if there's only one person like this, then humanity is just as dead.
Mm-hmm.
In my book. And that kind of brings me to another point too. Like, if this happened with Ellie, it's probably happening elsewhere.
Maybe. Could be. Yeah. And you're 100% right. The director has come out and said personally he felt if Ellie did go through with it, he felt that the surgery would have been successful, but he's never going to put it in the game because he likes the idea of it being ambiguous, that we don't know.
So for me, it's not even if the surgery is successful. If the resultant research is successful, if the following vaccine development is successful, if the following vaccine is safe, if the following vaccine can be manufactured, like, this is what I mean by one is none. Because if you only have, like, that one single point of failure from this one lab, then, like, what happens if a stalker gets into this lab?
Yeah.
What happens?
Pretty. I would be shocked, but yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
You good?
It's cats.
Okay. Everybody wants to be a cat. Because the cat's the only cat.
Hold on.
Yeah, go for it. Let's take the break.
No. Okay. No, I'm going to finish my point. But, like,
okay.
So for this kind of thing to be successful, because this is, like, for this world, the scope of what they're trying to achieve is their Panama Canal, their moon landing, their Golden Gate Bridge or whatever. And like
Sure.
that's not done by a small team. That's like this needs to be across multiple labs and like multiple people and whatnot. And we could throw morality and informed consent and best medical practice aside because that's our world and our culture.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cat outside. That's why mine are freaking
That's
out.
why.
Yeah.
I see.
Um,
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you.
Yeah.
I personally, my opinion is that I think it would have been successful, but yeah, there is no guarantee because we don't have that information.
This is
Because
also
it didn't go down that way. It
Yeah.
went down a different way. So we will never know if it would have been successful or all we can not judge, but all we can look upon is the actions of what
Yeah.
the characters have made and go off that.
Yeah. This is also again Wendy asking about the agriculture and industrialization in this world. Just too damn deep.
Whatever, Wendy.
Yeah. All right, cool. Quick bio break.
Yep.
All right. You ready to get back to it?
Let's get it.
Okay, so we didn't actually pause recording.
Oh.
Because like if you look at it, there's no pause button, so I'm just gonna edit out the break.
Edit out me coughing too.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1. That's a different game. Get out of here.
I don't care. It's my PlayStation 4 though.
Oh, nice.
It's my PlayStation. I know. I lucked out with this baby. I love this thing.
Is that a cover or a special edition?
This is a special edition. I traded in my PS4 Pro when the special edition for this came out. Because I love Spider-Man.
That
So
means you lost
I-
BT though, doesn't it?
It does. That was the trade-off. I was so heartbroken when that happened. Because I thought I'd be fine because it was in my PlayStation Cloud. Nope. Konami took it completely off.
They
So I
unmade the
didn't find
game.
so I didn't find out about that until after. So yeah, I was really, really heartbroken about that. There is apparently still a way to get it on PS4. You got to do a lot of rigmarole to get it. It's impossible on PS5 though.
I kind of figured as much.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we're back. So we've talked a lot about the morality of this game, but I can't believe we haven't discussed. There's fucking cannibals.
We pretty much talked about 2 hours, sidetracking here and there, but we talked about 2 hours of pretty much just the ending.
No, we talked about Winter a good amount, and we didn't talk about the cannibals.
I would say out of the 2 hours, the actual Winter talk was maybe 10 minutes tops. We spent a lot
it
of
felt more like 25 to me.
maybe, I guess. Anyways, yeah, we didn't talk about the cannibals and just how dire things have gotten for those people.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's a fun fact because I don't know if it's true. I don't remember it. There's a line when you're Ellie and you're in the store hiding from the guys. You hear David talk to a woman, and she says, "I'm gonna bring the children. I'm gonna take the children out of here."
And David says, "Get them to the bunker" or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a new line.
Oh,
I'm not 100% sure. I do not from the previous games. I mean, I have the remaster, so I could probably go back if I really wanted to and look to see if it's there. But I do not remember a female in David's group giving line about the children. And when he, but maybe it's not maybe it is a new line because they have talked about that David likes little girls. They kind of they hint at, oh yeah, she's David's newest pet. So it implies that
I think it was Project.
pet.
Okay.
I promise you.
Okay.
It's stuck with me. It's like I revolt every time I hear the line. So I know
Okay.
it's Davis.
Okay.
She's David's newest pet. Yeah.
What line do you hate more? She's David's newest pet, or your eyes are like materia?
I hate them for different reasons. I hate David. She's David's newest pet because it's about a pedophile predator,
Yeah.
and I cringe at the other one because of the trauma that it put me through.
Yeah, so yeah, David is a pedophile too. Like I was aware of it, but like I was so in the oh shit, everything is going to fucking hell right now that I didn't even really process it. But yeah, the children
Yeah,
in the camp.
yeah.
Yeah, yikes.
Yikes, indeed, right?
Mhm.
It's like how many of those? I don't even want to get into that. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, but no, you're 100% right. We go from Ellie, Ellie kidnapped. Ellie finds out why David likes her. Ellie is about to become chopped up. Ellie, all this is happening. It goes from 0 to 100 real
Ellie
fucking
tells
quick.
a stranger about that she's infected.
That she's infected, yeah, and she
Yeah.
shows him in order to catch him off guard so she can take out one of the
Yeah.
dudes, which was some quick thinking on her part.
And I think she told a fib or something that she didn't know was the truth, that I bit you so you'll be infected too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no yeah, because since she hasn't fully turned yet, there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
But she knew if they ate her, like that they
Yeah.
would be possibly infecting themselves. So
Mhm.
that, like, she knew that would give them at the very least a little bit of time.
Mhm.
So really quick thinking on her
Yeah.
part. Good on her.
Yeah, resourceful. I honestly didn't see a way that she was going to be able to break out.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that would be the death of Ellie. Just like, and it's not even plot armor. It's there's a narrative and a story, and that's
Yeah,
not
you
how
would
you
you
tell
would
a
think
story.
you would think it would be something like David's about to lift up the knife, and he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
On second thought, this is too good for you."
Yeah.
And then something like some bullshit
and then
like that.
dragon.
And then a clicker dragon busts through. Rock.
But yeah, like you would think that Joel would save her. And again, great subversion of expectations. But God, that whole sequence too. Oh, the deer. Did I have to shoot it multiple times, or am I just a bad shot with the bow?
You have to shoot it at least twice.
Okay. I think I shot it 3
No,
times.
you're not Okay, maybe it's no, I think you did it twice.
You're right. I missed one because the
Yeah.
arrow was right by it.
Yeah, you got to shoot it twice. You
Okay.
shoot it twice, and then it finally you follow the trail, and then it finally goes down, and that leads you to David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're not that bad. You're not that bad of a shot.
I mean, I am a bad shot.
You're not the best, but you looked pretty good these last few videos. I'll give you that, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, like, as little as I know about shooters, I do know a big part of it is not just aiming and shooting well. It's positioning and knowledge
Yes,
and
being ready.
management. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Totally.
Yeah. But like just going through the town as Ellie though was so much fun.
Yeah.
With a rifle and a bow. And I fought a bloater.
You did.
I felt like
with
I managed
Ellie.
that really well. I'm kind of disappointed actually. I didn't get to see any of the animation models they did for the bloater killing Ellie, like they do with Joel. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not as amusing.
No, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just you want to see Ellie's neck get snapped.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I felt like I kind of managed that whole fight and running around and like making good decisions well against that bloater.
Right.
Um, God, and I'm thinking about that whole scene now. Like David is a monster, but he tells her to watch her language.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, that for me is when you see it. Like that's when he slips up. Because it's not just about saying watch your language, it's the way he says it. Like you can feel there's a harshness in it. There's a uh an anger in there um that you don't see, and you don't really, because you're still in the middle of this whole thing with all these clickers and stuff, you don't really catch it on first viewing, or maybe you did, I don't know. But when I hear that line now and I'm like, oh, you nasty fuck. Like you probably say that to all the kids, all the little, like,
I wonder if your opinion is painted by the knowledge of it. Because you like this series so much and you know it so well. Like I
mhm.
didn't get that at all during the playthrough, and I have no idea if that's because I just like wasn't paying attention or because I wasn't watching it from the end.
No, I think if you ever end up playing the game again and you listen to that part, I really do think there's a authoritative um anger uh to it that you can hear in the tone that kind of like paints kind of a picture of like, you're not there's something a little off about you. It's not just a like, hey, watch your language. It's like you watch your language. It's just it's eerie. It's creepy the way that he says it.
Yeah. I'm seeing if I can find it.
Sure. And Ellie doesn't catch it. She brushes it off. She goes, "Okay, old man." Like, and
Yeah.
so that kind of like, it's like, oh, okay, Ellie doesn't think anything of it. It
Yeah.
kind of, so you don't take anything for it.
Yeah, I mean
Huh.
that's kind of that was me.
Yeah.
What do I want to do? I want to do this. And then in OBS.
Yeah, I really do think that's the first time he slips up because up until that point, everything's been soft and and calm and undertone, and there's a harshness, there's a sharpness in it that you don't see, and it like it'll if you it at least for me it takes me aback.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm streaming the thing. Can you see it?
Oh, let me click. I see it. I don't hear anything on my part, but it's fine. I know what it sounds like.
We need to find a way out of here.
It's in the other room.
Shit.
How to watch your language.
Oh,
I don't know. I get like Midwestern dude saying, "Watch your mouth" from it. That's
okay, fair
yeah,
enough. I
yeah,
don't, but that's fine.
yeah. Um,
Doo-doo-doo. Clicking.
yeah.
Oh,
I was just changing the stream for you
no,
back
no.
to
Yeah, yeah,
OBS.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and so like one thing I want to talk about too, because I've talked a lot about the mechanics and how well designed this game is
Mhm.
as a gameplay thing. Like with Ellie, I kept being given med packs, I noticed.
Yes.
That fosters aggressive play.
Yeah.
And I think that I subconsciously played into that.
Yeah.
I
And I
did.
think the game is properly designed that like if it sees you're also playing aggressive, it's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more helpful in the like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you might need this. In the
Yeah.
same way that if you're using a flamethrower all the time, you're gonna get more flamethrower ammo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Flamethrowers are just my anti-blitter weapon.
It worked. It worked well. It worked well for you.
Yes, it did.
I never used the flamethrower, and it's kind of funny. As we sometimes talk about, Last of Us is, it's a 2013 game. I always found it funny that they threw in a flamethrower because it's 2013, and you gotta have a flamethrower back then.
Mhm.
Everything you had to have that. Like, realistically, it doesn't make sense that there'd be a flamethrower at a school. Um, but we have to have a flamethrower. So whatever.
Oh, I could totally see that at a school though.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, a bunch of engineering students not thinking about whether or not they should, but whether or not they
Okay.
could.
Yeah, okay, maybe so. Maybe so. Fair point. Fair point. Fair point.
Especially in a zombie apocalypse.
Well, I think that was left there before. I think that was probably made before that. But hey, you never know. There were people. There's a lot of. Another thing we didn't get to see is that there's a lot of letters left back of people
Yeah.
that were there and that
Yeah.
were they were seeing people, the friends of theirs die and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's such a good section.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so one thing too, Winter is really good. This group is really
Yeah.
good. This narrative is really good.
Yeah.
What I'm suggesting, I don't think would have fit in the game, but I would have liked it if people better at game design than me could have made it happen.
Yeah.
One thing that is disappointing about the Winter scene
Hmm.
is you're getting monsters. You're not getting these people that you're killing are human. If you know what I mean.
I see. Yeah.
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 And so if they had more so played into the Joel killed their party and was a savage to them, just an absolute monster, and they're just trying to make a living and just trying to engage in that morality, that would have been a really interesting thing. But that would mean adding length to the game, and that'd probably mean adding more sections to be able to provide contrasts.
I'm with you though. I'm with you. That seeing the other side of it would have been really interesting.
Yeah, but it just would have killed pacing.
It would have. Again,
Yeah.
this is a tight 15 hours.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea. I do like the idea of seeing the other side of it, because these are humans too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Light, very, 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 very light spoiler for the series, for the TV series.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. They do that in the Pittsburgh area.
Okay, that just makes sense. I'd kind of expect that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't even think that's a spoiler.
No, it's not.
No.
It's just, but it's they have not more hours to work with, but a game is this game is 15 hours. A huge chunk of that is gameplay.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so we have 9 episodes. What can we do with that? What can we add? To make it still the last of it.
I'm pretty sure more than once I spent 45 minutes on a single encounter, not even dying once.
You did.
you're not going to put that in a HBO TV show.
No, you are not.
Maybe
but again, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna make a joke, but I can't remember. Go on.
But yeah, I was just saying. But I like the fair, not even criticism, but I like the idea that you have of, you would have liked to have seen, more of the other side of the idea. The only thing I can say to that is that it's Ellie and Joel's story, and but again, I do like that idea because it is called Last of Us, and even though the story is about Joel and Ellie, it's about it, part of it could, one idea is it's the last of humanity, or we
Mhm.
touched on earlier that it might have a different meaning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I'm with you on that.
I
That would
mean,
have been cool to see.
I think that could still tie into Joel and Ellie too, like,
Totally.
because the way I'm seeing it is like this world is being framed as there's two kinds of people, monsters and survivors, and it's just presenting that as a strict on or off. But
Mhm.
like, make it analog and blend, and
Sure.
and like you could totally play into that with Ellie's the survivor, Joel is the monster
Mhm.
end of that spectrum, and like they both kind of, in order to survive, have to both kind of meld in the middle, and then it's like showing these people you thought were monsters and then survivors, and yeah, like I think that could totally make sense with what you're saying narratively, but still would kill flow.
I'm with you, dude. Let's email Neil Druckmann right now. Let's get him on the hey, motherfucker.
CEO of Sony.
Not CEO of Sony, CEO of Naughty Dog. But
Thanks, Obama.
Exactly.
Okay, I do want to point something out. So, my favorite anything is never going to be the best of anything. Like Stardew Valley and Undertale. Favorite games.
It doesn't have to be.
Some of my favorite games, or one of my favorite games, and I just find this funny.
Hold on. You said they'll never be the best of anything. Full Metal Alchemist is probably considered the best anime of all time. At the very least, it's the most popular anime of all time.
You're right. I phrased that wrong. My favorite will not be my favorite because it is the best.
Better. Okay.
Yeah. But still, like, one of my favorite games, I just find it funny that one of my favorite games and one of your favorite games are both from the same company. Jak and Daxter series, Last of Us series.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But that's just Naughty Dog is a special company. It's like they're called Sony's crown jewel for a reason. Is that they have not had a game under 90. If you care about critic scores or whatever, they haven't had a game under 90 in decades. Like they just produce.
Yeah.
And sometimes they take a long time, but they always, like, the last 3 Naughty Dog games that have come out have all been Game of the Year. Have all won Game of the Year for that year. Last of Us Part 2, Uncharted 4, Last of Us Part 1. Like, like they are great at what they do.
Yeah. And then
so fucking come out with another game already. 3 years, not a peep. Come on. I'm jonesing.
But like, I mean, honestly, what you're saying is exemplified by the fact that in the extras is a Horizon Zero Dawn shirt for Ellie. That's Guerrilla Games, but that's Sony.
So, I did not know that until I watched the end credits video. That is new to Part 1. This new remake / port. That
Those
is
extras.
new. Those extras are new.
Oh.
They were not in the remastered PS4 version or the original. Obviously, because Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon hadn't come out yet. And what else was there? Beyond Two Souls, which I haven't played.
But my point is that I didn't notice that because Part 2 has a very similar thing where you can look at the model. And you can like pick different models after you've played the game and stuff like that. So I initially went into it and I saw it and it's like, oh, okay, it's just like Part 2. I didn't see the shirts of God of War and Horizon.
God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, and Jak and Daxter and fucking
Yo, that Daxter backpack is super cute. I legit want
that
one.
That shit was dope. I could not believe. I was like, oh my god, I didn't.
And Jack's goggles.
Yeah, Jack's goggles. Fucking Shadow of the Colossus. That's not even a Sony property, even though it's on PlayStation. I think they had Game of Thrones. It's like, damn, they paid for some of this.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Good on Naughty Dog. Good on Sony. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see. I had no idea.
I'm gonna say that Naughty Dog is just one of those developers that I will trust.
Yeah, super.
Kind of like
Uh,
Valve, but I have my issues with Valve.
that's fair. That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
yeah. Naughty Dog is my favorite developer of all time. They have earned my trust. They have earned my money. They have earned my my fanboyness. I it's just that is a company that I will uh check out anything they probably put out. In fact, the next game, it's not even rumored. They've said what they've been working on is a Last of Us multiplayer type of thing.
Mhm.
I don't play multiplayer. I don't like
Yeah,
multiplayer
neither
games.
do I.
I'm gonna buy that game and I'm gonna check it out
Mhm.
because I know Naughty Dog and I know it's not gonna just be a typical multiplayer.
Yeah.
I know there's gonna be more to it than that because that's the type of developer that they are.
That sounds
That should
interesting to me too. And there's a specific like small itch I've had that might scratch. There's a PC game called Rust that is the closest to it, and it's not at all
yeah,
close.
yeah.
Um, but with
It's
me
not at all
talking about
close.
that, um, before I mentioned it, had you ever heard of The Long Dark?
Okay, so The Long Dark actually came out after Last of Us. I went
Oh,
ahead and looked it up. Yeah,
I figured, because
but I had not looked at. I'm sorry.
I believe I said The Long Dark was probably inspired by The Last of Us.
Okay, see, I heard that the other way. I
Oh,
thought so I was like, I'm curious if that's the case, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh no, it came out after.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I had not heard it.
yeah,
So yeah, tell me a little bit about it.
yeah. It's a survival sandbox game.
Uh huh.
So basically, like the apocalypse has already happened, and you're in the Canadian winter. Um,
Okay.
good luck.
Oh, okay. It's a survival game.
Yeah, yeah. But it's
Okay.
just completely open world. Um, you have to manage stuff a lot more than in The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, you don't manage shit in The Last of Us. You're just
Yeah.
getting from one point to another.
Like in The Last of Us, you have to manage your health. In this one, you have to
Yeah, that's about it.
manage your health, your hydration, your hunger, and your sleep. Oh, and your cold.
Kind of like Red Dead or Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, little apples to oranges, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um, di- di- similar concept,
yeah.
different way of doing it.
Yeah, and like the rest of the game too just has this concept that I always really enjoy, which is playing with scarcity.
Okay,
So like
which you enjoyed about The Last of Us as well.
I
Yeah,
did, but like um in The Long Dark, it's like it's a run defining thing if you find a handgun.
I see. I see. It's a
Yeah.
big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah. And
Okay.
like you can find some bullets, sure, but what you really want to do is go through the very specific process of recasting bullets after you've expended them, and you want to set yourself up for that. And like you know you can make clothes from wolves that you kill. You can make clothes. Okay, you can make clothes from the wolves that you kill and whatnot, but like you have to leave their hideout to cure for like I think it's 7 days in order to be able to use them. Like just leave it on
Jesus.
the ground. And it's just like playing in a lot of that scarcity. And
Okay.
it's a lot
Okay.
of fun.
That does sound fun.
It's a game to play with patience. And it is on PS4, I know. So it's probably on PS5.
I'll check it. I'll look into it. I'll see how much it is right now.
Yeah. I think it might be on PS Now as well.
Uh, PlayStation Plus. Yeah, it
Yeah.
used to be PS Now. It's PS
Okay.
Plus now.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
They basically combine two services
Okay.
into one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, PS Now was the virtualization and streaming.
Yes.
PlayStation Plus was the gaming as a service.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was online multiplayer, and we give you 2 games a month, and
Yeah.
cloud sync, and all this
Yeah.
other stuff, all this little stuff. And then PS Now was, here's 400 games
Yeah.
that you want to that if you want to play. Similar to Game Pass, not day and date like Game Pass, but similar.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I checked that out. I'm checking out if it's available right now.
Here, I'll do it. I'll check right now. Boop. Let us see.
Yes, it is.
The Last Night or
The Long Dark.
The Long Dark. Doot.
PlayStation Plus Extra.
Hey, I have extra. I actually have premium because I did a sneaky sneak.
Oh.
I had the I basically, the PS Now was like, they had like a special where you could get like, I want to say like $50 for a year
Mhm.
before it got merged, and it like doubled in price.
Mhm.
So what I did was I bought like 3 years of that. And so when they merged it, I have now 3 years of that at a cheaper price.
You pulled a sneaky on that.
I did pull a sneaky. The Long Night.
Long Dark.
God damn it! Why is it so hard for me to remember things?
It's honestly.
Boy, this is riveting content. I am literally on my PlayStation right now, looking for a game.
that I told you
There it is.
exists.
There it is. Oh yeah, included. Okay, downloaded. Hey, look at that. Oh, I have a couple friends that have played this. All right, I will check it out, my friend.
Yeah.
Eventually, but it's on. At the very least, it is downloaded on my on my PlayStation, so I have to get to it because it's there, and I have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing I'd like to talk about too, that I think I mentioned
Yes.
a little bit in gameplay, and this is
Uh-huh.
kind of a minor thing, but in winter, being lakeside, or in Salt Lake City, looking at the skyline, they just made some beautiful moments in this game, which I'm
They really-
curious about how that compares to remaster or the original.
Still beautiful for its time, basically.
I figured as much.
Beautiful as time. The part 1, which is the remake of the original game,
Mhm.
it's very much, at least graphically, it's a completely from the ground up remake. Like they did so much. There's a whole video on YouTube about what they actually added. A lot of what they added from part 2, they actually specifically took from. I'm sorry. A lot of what they added to part 1, this remake,
Mhm.
they took a lot of it from part 2. Actually,
Like the assets?
a lot of assets. The whole accessibility. I don't know if you dipped into accessibility, but there's hundreds of options in there.
I saw that.
Yeah, which, again, I know we've been licking Naughty Dog's balls, but again, bravo Naughty Dog, because there's a few articles, one written by a blind man, actually, a blind journalist, that said, I was able to fully play and enjoy Last of Us Part 2 because of the accessibilities that they offered. So they kind of pushed the bar forward on that. Yeah, accessibility, how
I want to speak to that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
go Naughty Dog. That is Naughty Dog put in a lot of effort that should be rewarded and acknowledged. But the game industry has been having this push for a while now, and I think that what Naughty Dog did is a culmination of like a milestone of this is great for accessibility. But
Yeah.
like indie games have been doing like colorblind mode for years now, and like other accessibility things like that. But for the
Right.
game industry, I just want to say bravo, because accessibility is important. If disabled people want to do fuck shit, they should be able to do so accessibly.
Right,
That's a
exactly.
shirt that my
So,
partner has.
um, so yeah, accessibility. Um, the whole Joel, building his weapon,
Mhm.
that's straight up taken from part 2. That wasn't in part 1, the original.
Okay, so just
You
select
would
and
be
cool, it's good.
pretty much, yeah, exactly. Like, all the whole like breaking it down, like polishing or like adding thing. That's all from part 2. How the enemies will flank you,
Mm-hmm.
was taken from part 2. The AI from part 2 is put into this new remake.
Mm-hmm.
That's why enemies are a lot smarter in this aspect. Um, well, I won't get into too much more because that's a different game that
Yeah.
you'll discover on your own.
Thinking
But
about
yeah,
it,
there's
actually, like when The Last of Us, just like the original game, was topical and recent, like I seemed to have gotten this idea that all the opponents were extraordinarily difficult.
Oh,
That like
really?
you don't even want to engage with them if you can help it, which is not the vibe that I've gotten. And I think that I had that in the back of my head at the beginning.
Maybe on the hardest difficulty where they literally give you nothing and you got 3 bullets, make it work kind of
I'd
thing,
love to play
where
that. I might just replay for that.
after part 2, if you want to do that, go nuts.
Yeah.
But play part 2 first, then
Yeah.
you can go back. But yeah, Grounded is
Um,
a fucker, man.
So I will also say, the well I'm pulling from for that is, do you know Zero Punctuation?
Yes.
Um,
I'm not a fan.
so he did a Last of Us review.
Yes.
And he mentioned, like, when given the option between bullets or just a can of beans, like the can of beans will actually be useful.
Yes.
I seem to remember that.
You're not pulling him up right now,
No,
are you?
no.
Okay, good. Yeah, because he tends to spoil stuff. I don't want you to. Don't watch him.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Bricks. I mean, I've told you since day one that bricks are your friend. That
Mhm.
bricks simplify everything in the game a lot more.
Mhm.
I've done a couple chapters on just a brick and a shiv, no weapons, just for the fuck of it. Just bricks and shivs or my fists. And it's it's fun, but the game is so diverse in what you're able to tackle,
Mhm.
that maybe that causes it to be less difficult in that way, but I'll always pick more options than than I guess more difficulty. I don't know. Not necessarily it has to be one or the other, but I guess in this case maybe.
Could you say that again? I'm not following.
So you're saying I'm alluding to that maybe one of the reasons you heard. What am I getting at? I was basically saying that I don't think the game is very hard because of the amount of ways you can tackle opponents.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. And I was just saying I'll take diverse ways of tackling something over strictly do it this
Yeah.
way, but this way will be harder and more challenging.
Yeah. I mean, it's what you're talking about is good. Is like that's the Metal Gear approach.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, what I just did, what I was doing that you're asking if I was pulling up Yahtzee.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I just bought the replacement joysticks for my PS4 controllers.
Yay! So, do you want to borrow mine? Because I have the game. I don't know if you just want to buy it yourself. I can't imagine it's that expensive, but if you want the option, I'll give you my
Yeah,
PS4 and you
I
can
won't
do
buy it
that.
myself.
It's up to you. Oh,
kind of
thank you.
brings
I
me
appreciate
to another point.
Yes.
Between the two of us, I'm the PC gamer and you're the console gamer.
PlayStation specifically, yeah. I don't
I
own an Xbox.
Okay, but I can see 4 consoles from where I'm sitting right now.
Where?
There.
Who's talking about?
I see my Super Nintendo, my PlayStation 1, my PlayStation 4, and my Nintendo Switch.
Are you talking about me or you?
No, me.
Oh, you.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I'm the PC gamer, but I own more consoles than you. I'm gonna own even
You
more
do.
than that, because I'm gonna get a fucking original Xbox and a PS2.
Hopefully a PS5 one day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in the pipe.
It's in the. Oh, I can't look up the price of Last of Us because I already own it.
It'll be a physical copy that I get.
Oh, you get a physical? Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
You saw my bookcase. I'm about game collecting.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Which
Um,
I don't think you haven't seen this. I didn't know where to put this TV, so I might just end up connecting the PS4 to this, and then capture
fine.
carding that.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's the TV I played Red Dead on, and like all my PS4 stuff basically.
Is it a 4K?
No,
Oh no, you have a regular PS4, right? You don't have a
Yeah.
Pro.
correct.
Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Also, it was $60
$60.
for the TV.
I will. You can still buy the game. I still, once again, would like to offer this because I think there's a 60 frames per second option if you do it on the Pro.
Okay, then I will.
Whereas on
I
the
will opt for that. Yeah.
Let me verify. Let me verify. For Last of Us 2, 60 frames. Okay, no. You can do 60 frames on the base PS4. It'll just be 1080p, and it's 1440p on PS4 Pro. So it doesn't even matter
Yeah.
because you don't have a
Yeah,
2K
it's all
TV
1080.
or whatever. So just play it on your PlayStation base. Then it should be fine. It's gonna be loud as hell. So I
Yeah.
recommend playing with headphones.
I'll be right by the
Ah.
PS4. So
Oh, actually, I don't know if those will work. Does that come with a USB thumb drive, like a? So because
these do.
Oh, yeah. That'll
this
work
this is all 3.5 millimeter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which that would work. That would work too. You just plug it into your controller. Anyways, we're way.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the game. Is there anything else? Oh, well, why don't you have your moment to vent about how shitty the port is?
Unacceptably shitty.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. The fact that you had to restart your entire computer a couple times to get that text rendering or whatever.
The hair rendering and the scope rendering.
Yeah. Let's I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry that it was such a unacceptable port on that end. That's not, again, like I know Naughty Dog didn't make the port, and I know Sony rushed it because they were trying to coincide with the release of the TV series. But it's a failure on everyone's
No.
port.
Still, like Naughty Dog attached their name to that.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog was
Yeah.
okay with attaching their name to that. Unacceptable.
Yep.
The visual issues, the not just the hair, but like the issues with textures, the texture popping, the environmental texture stuff just outside of Boston, if you remember.
I remember
The issues
the
with
rain physics
yeah.
of like how,
The
when everybody gets wet.
Ellie's feathers at the beginning of winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Like,
there was
and I
no.
made the I made
I'm
the
sorry. Go
point,
ahead.
indie studios with a handful of developers that make 3D games like that. Like, obviously not AAA level, but like
Right.
still following the same design principles.
Yeah.
Are able to make it work.
Right.
And like, part of me wonders if one thing that I was talking about during my credits retrospective last night was like the console tailoring that I mentioned, just like, you know, the input mapping. It's very clearly console at its core design. Just, it almost makes me wonder, like, are these kinds of studios, like, when they're doing stuff for console, just get themselves into corners that when they port it, they just can't? Or is it just like a shitty studio? Because this was Arkham Knight,
Arkham
right?
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the guys responsible for the Arkham Knight port, which is infamously
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Infamously, it's still bad. It's
Yeah.
still terrible. Oh,
It'll never
several
not be
years
then.
later. Huh?
It'll never not be if they haven't fixed it yet.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's it. It's just a shitty port. Um, I I I am appreciative at the very least that Naughty Dog is still, the game is 6 months out at this point, and Naughty Dog like they just released a patch about 3 days ago, so
Yeah.
they're still trying to fix the fuckery of this,
Yeah.
which
And like,
you have hold on. You have a game that came out more recent than that, Jedi Survivor, that is completely fucked also on PC. Ridiculously bad. It's terrible on consoles too. Overall, I really like the game, but it's a buggy mess. EA, I forget the actual studio. It starts with an R. I can't remember, but they have basically said we're moving on to the next game at this point. They did a couple of updates. It's still fucked. They're moving on. So I at least give Naughty Dog the credit. They do love this game. They care about this series. They are going to eventually completely fix and iron out everything, but it was a mistake. They should have waited another year. They like Naughty Dog should have told Sony it's not, it's not ready. Sony should have not pressed for nope, it needs to go out now because the TV series is out and we need to sell. We need to sell, stamp it. Let's go. So it's it's a shame. It's a shame that because it's such a beautiful game, it's such a technical marvel, and to have these frustrating bugs and glitches, impact impact your experience with it it's really disappointing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
I'm
mean-
with you. You said I'm sorry, I'm wrapping up.
No.
You said in your videos it's a 6 out of 10 port, and I agree with you. It's mediocre. 6 out of 10 for me is mediocre, and it's a mediocre port.
And yeah, from what I heard, the initial launch port, that was a 2 out of 10.
Oh yeah, you were getting blackface Joel. Yeah, there were some real cumfuckery things going on there. So I think Sony and Naughty Dog learned their lesson on this. Naughty Dog is still obviously fixing it, but
Yeah.
we talked about this earlier. Sony has a PC port studio that they acquired in 2021 called Nixxes, and they are great. They have released the Spider-Man ports and the God of War port, and both of those, and the Horizon port, and all three of those are very good. I don't understand why. Maybe it was a timing
Yeah.
They just couldn't because they were working on Spider-Man or something like that, and they couldn't do that. But this is Last of Us. This is Last of Us. You give it to the best studio. If Naughty Dog can't do it because they're working on 3 games right now, then you give it to a studio that can do it. You don't fucking give it to a studio that is known for one of the worst PC ports ever. You don't do that shit. That's stupid. So
Yeah,
Sony,
and I mean, on the
Sony's
note
ridiculous.
on the note of this recovery, so like, good on them. Props on them. They are spending money to make this port be good,
Yes.
as good as it should have been at launch. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, you and I were talking Naughty Dog's reputation. I'm going to assume we are not the only people in the world who have this perception on
I
Naughty
would
Dog's
agree. Yes.
reputation.
Yes.
And like Last of Us being such a flagship, like I would hate for this to happen, but if it did happen where Naughty Dog said it's out and it's bad and we're just gonna move on, I would love to be a fly on the wall when Sony heard that. Because Naughty Dog's and Sony's reputation, like,
they're about quality.
Yeah,
They're about quality.
Yeah, and if that happened, like, that would just go out the toilet for me. And like, not only that, but Sony's kind of hitched their net wagon to Naughty Dog just as much as Naughty Dog has hitched their wagon to Sony.
Yes. Yeah. They give Naughty Dog for the most part carte blanche on what they do with their games.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's just unacceptable on both their parts because again, Sony and Naughty Dog are known for quality. They are known for their great games, great stories, great overall games.
Mm-hmm.
And you start fucking with that magic, you're going to fuck around and find out.
Yeah. And this kind of brings me in, and this is a great segue that I'm doing too. My overall score for the game.
Uh-huh.
The poor port took it out of the 90s.
That's a bummer, but understandable.
Which I'm going to go ahead and get into that.
Yeah, let's check it out. Can I see it?
Yeah.
I was hoping the bad port would at least bring it to I was hoping for a 90. I was hoping for a 90, but I'll live with it. I will live with it.
Kind of just below a 90.
Like 88?
Basically.
Okay. I'm pretty on the money, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see.
And then hold up. Don't say anything yet.
Okay.
Here we go. Where's Zoom and Google Sheets? Okay, whatever. No, actually, not whatever.
Nothing hits like water.
It's the real adult drink.
It really is.
Kids think the adult drink is coffee. Teens think the adult drink is alcohol. Adults think the adult drink is water.
Water.
Okay.
100%.
Whatever. I can't figure out how to zoom in. Oh, hey, here it is. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the Phantom at 3. Okay. So going at it. First impression, 8. This.
Okay, can I see it?
You know.
Hold on. I haven't clicked on watch stream. Okay, yeah, I can. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, first impression.
8.
8. Okay.
I knocked a point off for the port.
Fine.
Yeah. Replayability 3. I don't think I'm gonna replay it.
That's fair. It's a linear game.
Yeah. Audio / visual aesthetic 4.5.
Cool.
Graphics that took a hit, like a 1 or 2 point
I
hit.
think it would have been a 10 if not for the shitty PC port. Yeah.
Yeah. Sound design 9, absolutely great. I love the sound of clickers, which in visual aesthetic, like, God, the way clickers and specifically clickers look.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah.
Like insane, eerie sounds.
Yeah, exactly. Music got a 4. The music was really good, but I just didn't hear or notice it a lot.
That's fair. It's meant to be more ambiguous and
Mhm.
tone setting. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
it's not remake where it's like and you're
Yeah.
like, hell yeah, let's go fuck up a
Yeah.
robot.
Also, for one of Sony's final E3s, it was Last of Us Part 2 dude with a banjo, right?
Yes. That was the composer.
I did not get any banjo vibes.
Well, the game opens up with boom, 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 boom.
But like in the whole game, I mean.
Oh,
like
it's there. It's sprinkled. It's sprinkled. But
so,
I understand what you're saying.
I think I'm thinking more like Left 4 Dead style banjo.
No, it's not
Yeah.
as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gameplay getting a 9. Like the only thing that took this off was like sometimes I'd just be like put in a corner and I had no way out, or like just the mechanics were kind of a little bit wonky.
Nine as far as I'm concerned is, for me, it's 10 masterpiece, 9 amazing. So
Yeah.
that's I'm not complaining about it. This is the one I was really hoping for. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, it was just a great story.
I'm so happy. That's the one I was really like, okay, if he gives it an 8, I swear to God.
They.
I'm sorry, they. So no, I can't yell because there's people sleeping. But
yeah, it was a cohesive game.
yeah,
And like, I'm looking at this from a design perspective, not the mechanics of it.
yeah.
So yeah, cohesiveness, level design, characters, like how could they, and mechanics, how could they be better?
Yeah, right on.
I do want to give shout out to level design though, because like not only was I talking about like the gunplay and the gun game and everything, and like, you know, Ellie with a rifle when a rifle is not the right choice, but like the levels that support that and like everything.
As far as level design goes, it's like just you're giving it a 10. Just wait till you play part 2, dude.
And then yeah,
I'm just at characters obvious.
Yeah.
That I'm really happy to hear. See
mechanics, like they did exactly what they needed to do. It wasn't too much. Oh, actually, do I want to knock this one down?
Which one?
Mechanics. Because the weapons cross is really annoying to me.
The weapon cross?
Yeah.
It's up to you. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Just like, you know, I have to press 7 to get to a med pack. I imagine it's much more intuitive on a PS4, PS5 controller.
Yeah, because it's the D-pad. The cross is the D-pad, so you push up.
Yeah. No.
It's immediately, the cross is meant to be the D-pad, so it makes sense controller-wise. It's a lot more. I can understand. Yeah. You know, they could have done maybe the arrow keys, because that's kind of like a T. I don't know anything about PC design, so that in my head, it's like, oh, that looks like a T.
The arrow keys, so that's a good idea until you put it in practice, because that means like I'm controlling. Oh, need the arrow keys. I'm controlling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, because you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom.
And then game performance. I said it's a 6 out of 10 port. 3 out of 5 is a 6 out of 10.
Okay, so I want to do 87. Okay, I can live with that because it is a bad PC
I'm
port.
pretty much right on with Metacritic's review. Metacritic score.
Yeah. Can we do a what if? So let's say there were no glitches, everything ran the way it to. First impressions.
Hold on.
What do you think it would have been? Windy, what if? Ideal. Let's see. First impressions. Okay, good. Replayability still 3, yeah. Makes sense. 4.5. Graphics. I think that would have been a 10, personally. If there were no issues, it is an
No
absolutely...
influencing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to remember all the graphics.
Well, think about the white lake and the snowy mountain that you were looking at. That's what it should look like all the time. Fuck you. You forgot a 0. Then you do 0 1. There it is. Thank you,
There's
Windy.
your 0. And this is ideal, no issues.
Yeah, no issues. There's no glitches. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. Hey, mamas. Hi, Papa.
It would be a
Okay.
10, but I generally am not a fan of realism just because of the way it dates itself.
Okay,
later
fair
down the
enough.
line.
That's funny. I'm a fan of realism because it dates itself. That's funny.
What did I say?
4.5 because you don't like the cross.
Yeah.
$92. Okay, so that's... I would have loved it to be that for you, but unfortunately, it wasn't. So,
Yeah.
my turn.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me just...
No worries, no worries.
Done. There you
No,
go.
actually, no. No, actually, no.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There you go. That's your ranking.
Okay, can I give my actual ranking now?
Yeah, let me fix this formatting.
Thank you. All right, first impressions is a 10. Replayability 4.5. Audio visuals is a 5.
So this is the like aesthetic that they're going for, not the implementation.
Okay, yes. So that would be a 5. Graphics 10. Sound design is out of 10. Sound design 9.5. Music 10. Gameplay I'm going to give a 9 because I think it's not until Last of Us Part 2 that the game is elevated to perfect masterpiece status.
Okay.
As far as gameplay. Narrative 10. What do you mean by cohesiveness?
How well things flow together.
Oh, okay.
How
So
much
then
it makes
10.
sense. Yeah.
So 10. I'm sorry, 5. Level design 10. Characters 10. Mechanics. Mechanics, I'm gonna give it a 9 point. I'm sorry, it's out of 5. So I'm gonna do 4.7. 4.7 because at least the earlier days they had this funky way of running. You had to push like one of the top buttons instead of one of the bottom ones. It was weird. And then game performance 5. Wait, what happened? How is it 102?
How is it
Huh.
102?
Yeah, how's it 102? That doesn't make any sense. Cupid, go to your bed. It's time for bed. Night time. What the heck? 9. Oh, right there, right there. Go back down. That's what it is. That one right there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
should be 5. Okay. 97.7. Okay.
Okay, so half of our difference comes down to the port, and then the other half just comes down to minor preferential differences.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, it's yeah. What are you doing now?
Analysis.
Okay. My buddy is writing some numbers and that I have
Okay.
no idea.
So the biggest one that we differ on is the
Uh-huh.
graphics. And
Which is because of the
yeah,
port.
yeah, the port. After that, replayability, and like that just comes down to preference. I'm not
Yeah,
a
it does.
shooter person. I'm not a shooter
You're-
dude.
You're not a shooter dude, and story is important to you, but it's not your first thing you look for. So in a heavily story driven game,
Sure,
it's not.
but
Yeah.
also play Undertale.
No, I know it's a story. I know
Yeah.
that is. I know that's heavily. It's a heavy story. I'm echoing the words that you have said to me before. That's
I'm
all.
gonna change one of your ratings.
Why?
Mechanics from 4.7 to 4.5. What does that 0.2 difference make?
It means everything to me.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that we do not differ on at all.
That's good. Honestly, the real meat of the game is we don't differ on that, which is awesome to see.
Yeah. And it just comes down, our differences come down to fiddly little minor differences.
Yeah,
how I want the
bits
music
of
to be
nit.
in the game.
Yeah.
How I feel about the sound design, the overall aesthetic, and and on average, from category to category, we differ by less than a point.
What was important to me is that you love the story.
Yeah.
And that was the big one for me.
The real infected was the family we made along the way.
Yes, indeed. So now my next question, Wendy, when are we playing part 2?
When I get a capture card, which should be happening soon.
How soon? Because soon can mean various things when it comes to you.
It's the difference, but so I haven't looked into it. It's the difference between if a capture card is like $300 or $100.
Fair enough. Completely fair. I didn't even know it was that much money.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. Capture card. Wow. PS4 capture card. This is a PS5. I want. Oh. I'm curious. I am curious. Oh, capture card, $32. PS5, PS4.
Okay, then pretty damn quick.
Okay then.
Yeah.
That's good. Sounds good.
Well,
there are some in the hundreds, but
hold on. Because you're asking about
Yeah.
part 2.
Yes.
You're forgetting about Left Behind.
I'm not forgetting about Left Behind.
So
um,
after Left Behind as well.
I know after Left Behind, but again, Windy, Left Behind is going to take you
A day.
not even a day. It's going to take you to it's short. It's 2 hours. With the way you play, maybe 3.
Man, you
So-
are so lucky that your other favorite game did not have chests that glow.
Boy, am I. Well, it's funny after seeing how you were with the glowy chest and everything, I knew you'd really like Last of Us because it's a game of part of the gameplay is scavenging, and you like that. You like doing that.
That
You
should
like
tell
looking
you a
for
lot about me liking the long dark.
So I knew I knew at the very least you'd like the game, that it would be fun for you.
And I was having fun.
I remember your second to last video, you're like, this is the fastest I've started one of these because I am so enthralled. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, that was when Joel woke up in the hospital, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
I am so
Yeah.
enthralled right now. This is the fastest I've ever started one of these.
So,
And that
okay.
made me happy to hear.
Not just recency bias, not just winter and spring. For the whole
Yeah.
game, were you seeing me having fun?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Except when frustrated.
Yeah, I was like, except when you would get frustrated about the port, but again, it's justified. It's justified. But I'm really happy to see that you were having fun. I can't wait for you to play Left Behind and Part 2,
Mm-hmm.
and for you to not. Hopefully, Left Behind doesn't have any issues because we're gonna rate Left Behind. I'm assuming too, right?
I mean, we did the same with Intermission.
That's what I'm saying. So we have to. So I know at the very least.
I think that I just typically rate lower than you. We have a sample size of 3.
This because these are my favorite games of all time, Windy, and
fair
and
enough.
yeah, like when I do Undertale and review it,
Yeah.
I will more than likely score it less. Well, maybe not. Maybe it'll become. I don't think it'll become one of my favorite games of all time, but I think I wish I didn't know about some of the ending stuff. But sometimes it's you can still appreciate how you get there, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. What do you know about the ending?
I know that in order to get the good ending or the best ending, I guess, you're not supposed to harm any of the animals. That you're supposed to try and go through it as positive as you can. Which is very vague because you can say that about anything. You say that about BioShock. You can say that about Mass Effect, Red Dead. Oh, it's not so much that I'm spoiled about what happens.
Yeah.
It's that I know that I'm very much a good guy in my games. I don't like getting bad endings.
Mhm.
I sent you a thing like a day or two ago. Of, this is me trying to be bad in Red Dead, and like my bar is all the way over here. It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard. Like I rob people and shit like that, but it's when it comes time to we're really on a sideway. But today, I got to a cabin, and it was this black dude and his little son, and the son was and the dad was an alcoholic, and he smacks his kid,
Mhm.
and then I go in to rob them. And the dad goes to try and shoot me, and I had everything in me to I had no reason. It was like, the guy's a piece of shit. He's smacking his kid. He's an alcoholic drunk. I could easily take him out, but I hogtied him instead because I'm like, well, if I leave this kid, what if he's alone? And you know what? I was right because his mom took off. and abandoned him, so he really didn't have anybody else. There's a letter I found after the fact. But I still robbed them.
I love how you're saying that like it's a good thing too.
Oh my god.
There are multiple endings in Undertale.
Yes, that's what I've heard. You have told me that.
You have to be trying to get the bad ending to get the bad ending.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
Yeah,
And it's a short game too. It's like about 5 hours or so, right? It's
5-6 hours.
Super, yeah.
Remember how I said that I have not touched the game since, and I won't?
Yeah.
If you want me to have the game fresh in my mind for a review, I'll be watching your gameplay. Otherwise, I won't be playing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if it's really a capture card, these capture cards are only $30. Yeah, because this capture card is $32 and it only oh no, it says that it can do 4K or 1080 60, which is probably what you would get because you don't need the 4K. If I can get one relatively cheap like that, I will get a capture card too, and I will figure it out and I'll see if I can do that as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the least. It's the least I can do. Like you've brought me many hours of joy. So.
Yeah, fair point. And hey, maybe we can become a network.
I've always wanted to do that with you. I've always wanted to do podcasts with you. Like
no, like both of us uploading shit.
Do you remember? No, I know with both of us uploading shit. I'm just gonna send you my stuff. You can upload it to your channel. I'm not gonna upload my stuff. You can do it.
Okay, upload it unlisted, please. That way I don't have to download.
Oh no, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
But do you remember way back, like, when I lived with you?
When we did that podcast and we talked about 500 Days of Summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember that I came up with a name for us?
No, I don't.
It was you, me, and somebody, and the person you don't like anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with Rage Critics. Which is very simple, very basic, but it was fun. So yeah, I've always make a long story short, I've always wanted to do podcasts.
Yeah. We've always talked about this.
Always talked about it because
ever since the hot tub.
Since the very first night we became friends and we had a 3-hour conversation at a hot tub
about
first night I came over.
Anything and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
In retrospect, that conversation was like, all right, we're going to be best friends. Are we going to be good best friends?
That was a defining moment in both of our lives, I think. It changed the course for each other in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Did. Yeah.
The other defining moment is the first time I played Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, I mean, that's when you grew chest hair.
I know.
Like you were bare to like a forest in the span of a day.
And it's weird when I stop playing it, it goes away. It like falls off, but it comes back every time I play it.
I was wondering if we were gonna get one of those in here.
I literally just popped in my head as like, oh my god, we're wrapping up and we haven't said Hyrule Warriors yet.
Kingdom Hearts is canon. We know one thing to be true.
That's right. Indeed.
God damn it, turn around, fuck. Okay, do you have any final thoughts?
I love this game. I love this series. I can't wait for you to finish it. I'm so glad that you love the game, and that you really enjoyed the story and the characters, and I can't wait to see the rest of your journey with it.
Yeah, I have one too. Not on the game, but you and I were texting recently.
Yeah.
And this might become another YouTube thing. The idea was thrown around of, hey, me PC gamer, you console gamer. Let's
Yes.
be part of your world.
Yes, I already and I know this. I know the game that I want you to
Mhm.
play after
Mhm.
after you finish part 2.
Yeah, so like I've been getting into video game collections or collecting.
Yes.
And so like part of that too, and I know that you're a Sony guy, but like
Mhm.
I'm wanting to get an original Xbox and Halo Combat Evolved because
Sure.
that is a defining thing for console gaming.
I'm a Sony guy. I have a little hatred of Xbox. It's not even it's not so much a fanboy thing. It's more of I don't like Xbox's recent practices with
Mhm.
in the gaming industry.
Hmm.
I don't have any problem with their actual games. They're
Yeah.
just not
Yeah.
they're not for me, especially since when I was growing up and really started to like have interest in like newer games, like was around middle school, high school, and that time period was Xbox everything. Halo was dominating.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an Xbox, so I would play with friends or I would go over to my cousins and play it and I would get fucking wiped out.
Yep.
And I'm like, this shit sucks. This
Yeah.
isn't fucking fun at all.
No, I mean it is original Halo on an original Xbox. There probably won't be online play, but like
Yeah.
I only do single player games anyways, and just
Yeah.
Halo is a landmark thing in console history.
It is.
Um,
It's Master Chief is up there with Joel and Ellie, with fucking
Samus,
Sonic.
Mario,
Sonic and Mario. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's that
And-
iconic.
in the same vein,
They have a fucking TV series, for
Yeah.
God's sakes. It's
They-
shit, but
they have an
it-
expanded lore in novels as well.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
in the same vein though, like my PS2, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
want
if
you-
I'll be playing them.
you will. You have to at this point. You've dug your your nails in so much.
Look, this is about owning games, not playing them.
I want. Let's pump the brakes. You're saying I don't know if I'm like you're looking like you're not looking forward to playing these. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are good games.
The reason why I'm
They
saying
are
I don't
great
know
games.
is not because they're bad, but because that's a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that. I think both of them
I'm an
around
adult.
40 hours each. Yeah, it's a good amount. It's a good amount of time.
Yeah. But
And if you play them the way I think you'll play them, it'll be even longer if you actually complete them. And fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 especially is on the older console. It's a pretty difficult game.
yeah.
Just because of button mechanics and stuff like that. It's dated. The mechanics of it are pretty dated. Kingdom Hearts 2, I would say probably still holds up on the PS2.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so nonetheless, the friend playing PC games, me playing console games.
Yeah.
Some stuff that I have in mind for you is Half-Life 1 and 2.
How am I gonna do this?
We'll get you over here.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine then. Yeah, totally.
And this might sound odd at first for me to suggest it because it's very much not only on PC, but Skyrim, but
Ooh,
modded
okay.
to hell.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. And just like
Okay.
other stuff like that. The original Fallout games or Thief,
Sure, that's fine.
Quake would be good. I need to get some more recent PC games. Portal, I don't know if you ever even played that.
I've watched. Excuse me. I've watched you play it. I haven't played it, but I loved watching
Yeah.
you play it. I had
Yeah.
so much fun. You beat the whole thing in like a day and a half or something like that, or maybe a day.
I
don't
could probably get through all of Portal now in like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Right, but I watched you
Yeah.
play the entire thing in like a day, and I was just enthralled with just what's her name? Starts with a
Gladys.
G, right? Gladys. Yeah. It's like, gosh, she's such a sassy bitch. Oh my god.
I love her. She gets even
I love her.
sassier in Portal 2.
And I've never seen Portal 2, so I'm looking forward to when we do
Okay.
that. So since you're getting into the games that you want me to play and stuff like that, I
Mhm.
think the next game, you probably think that it's going to be like God of War or something like that. The next game that I want you to play, you mentioned you're a fan of Metal Gear, so I want you to play Death Stranding.
Is that PS4?
That is a PS4. Yeah, it's a PS4 game. Um, it is Hideo Kojima's game, newest game. He's got a sequel. He's got a part 2 coming out, or he's got a sequel coming out in God knows
Mhm.
when. But it's with Norman Reedus. And I don't actually want to tell you too much about what it's about. I just kind of want you to just
So the one question that I would have, and this isn't
yeah.
me trying to get out of it,
No.
but is it kind of defining for console gaming? Because that was kind of the proposition originally.
I think it's a genre defining game. I think it like what it like mm, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say
Okay.
yes
Okay.
because of what it what it kind of accomplishes
Mm-hmm.
and the time, because it came out right before COVID and it
Okay.
is very appropriate.
Oh, I
So
thought it
I'm
came
gonna
out
say
earlier than that, but okay. Okay.
2019, November 2019 is when it came out.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So literally right when COVID was starting in like China and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
over here, just right before it. So that is probably the next one, just because it's a different type of
Yeah.
AAA game.
Okay, that makes sense. Ooh,
Okay.
maybe I should get you
Do you know
vaguely
anything about it?
running up a hill with like a giant mechanical backpack thing.
Okay, that's perfect.
Also the trailer, Norman Reedus and the
Naked.
fighting fetus fight the
Yes.
five flying Jesus.
Fair enough.
I should get I should get you to play Getting Over It.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's a rage game.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you do that.
Okay, thank you. Please don't. It's quickest way to turn me off to PC gaming.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I think that's everything.
All right.
All right, and we have arrived in the station. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.